Friday night at around 17:32 and listen to our newsreader Richard Foster sing the Greasy Egg Noodle song. And if you want to get thrilled again, then wait for the very end and the emphatic who. That was all part of Fact of the Day on Drive with Tony and Claire every Friday afternoon, and that was to honour the Chengdu Blades. Tony will explain all.
Can you not sing that now, then?
That was the challenge, and Tony should be grateful that I've just mentioned the fact.
Okay, all right.
I was never, ever going to sing it. Anyway, let's focus on the more important stuff, shall we? And the game is underway. Sheffield United are defending the Kop away towards our right-hand side. Red and white striped shirts, black shorts. West Ham United in their change strip, the all-royal blue. Of course, there's been weather warnings about Storm Isha. We were talking to one of the officials ahead of kick-off, and they were saying that they were a little concerned around kick-off time that the wind would start to increase. I thought it was a little later on today, but the flags are not getting too much of a buffeting for the time being. But maybe the conditions could deteriorate as the afternoon wears on. So far with the header away, and the flag is raised on this near side. For a West Ham United team, incidentally, that they've got a chance to equal a club record here today of 5 successive clean sheets. So we talk about their attacking options that they are potentially missing with Paquetá out and Kudos away with the African Cup of Nations. But defensively, they've been solid.
No, they have been solid, to be fair. Really good. I like Emerson. I think he's been a brilliant signing at left fullback. I think he's been outstanding.
Brooks coming forward. Andre Brooks, the Sheffield lad, is the only player who's now started all 8 games since Chris Wilder returned to the club and recently signed the new deal to 2027. So they clearly think a lot of the 20-year-old midfielder playing as the left wing back here today. This is going to be a long throw. Robinson is going to take it. He's got a good 6-yard of a run-up. It's a flat throw coming into that penalty area. Zuma Klai's high to head it away. That bouncing ball then cleared by Soufal, picked up by Fornals, potential break on. He just can't release the ball to Cornet, who was making his way back up towards the halfway line. And Foderingham, in like a silvery white goalkeeping outfit, cleared it. Out of play for a quick throw taken by Trusty. 2 Brooks in field, stopped by Ward-Prowse, picked up by Souček. So that the wind could be a factor as the afternoon wears on. Yeah,
definitely. We've got this storm coming. I don't like the wind. I'm more worried about how it's going to be for us getting home than But yeah, it could play a factor in it. But I think it'll be all right. And you know what? If it does get like that, then it should be a football game where you've got to keep the ball down on the ground, or there'll be huge mistakes in the game if it does pick up.
Yes, and certainly those West Ham fans who've travelled once again in great numbers, always loyal support from the West Ham travelling fans. They'll be hoping for a safe journey home should the weather indeed pick up a little later as Foderingham. Certainly his goalkeeper's jersey is rippling, so just gauging at it, I would suggest that the wind is going the way that West Ham are playing as we look from left to right. Yeah. So Foderingham once again hits it rather low and flat, and Zuma's climbed all over the back of Asula. Referee, who is Michael Salisbury, hasn't spotted any of that. It was all over him like a rash coming through the top of him.
Yeah, he was. I think Asula was standing his ground and Zuma was thinking, I'm going to leave my mark on you, as defenders do.
Here is Robinson. Robinson hits it forward, headed up in the air by Mavropanos, brought down by Brereton Diaz. Didn't really have the happiest of times when he was at Villarreal. Didn't in fact score in any of his 14 appearances in La Liga. Indeed, he only started twice during his time in Spain. The first Chilean international, or the last Chilean international actually to score in the Premier League, was Alexis Sanchez some 6 years ago. So Brereton Diaz, who's looking to try and score his first ever goal in his top-flight career on his Premier League debut for Sheffield United, as Emerson just runs into Sousa. And Sousa now feeds it to Brooks, who shields the ball away from Cornet, wins that particular duel, lays it off to Sousa outside the centre circle. Harmer coming from a deep roll for Sheffield United, out towards Bogle on that far side. We've played for 5 minutes, 5 live and BBC sounds here at Bramall Lane, 0-0. Sheffield United in possession. Bogle comes forward, looks towards Asula, prods it back. Harmer will get there midway through the West Ham United half. Bogle has stayed forward, might come towards Asula, but Emerson was there. Emerson's clearance only as far as McAtee. McAtee towards the dead ball line, and goal kick. Last touch came off the on-loan Manchester City player.
Yeah, he tried a little flip-flap there, Deno, which you call it, a little quick feet there, and maybe his best option was to try and get across him. But yeah, good start from Sheffield United. I think Bogle and McAtee could cause a lot of problems down that right-hand side.
He was certainly showed all of his quality when he was at Priestfield against Stephen Clements' side in the FA Cup a fortnight ago. On the overlap is so far into the penalty area, cut out by Trusty, and then hammered away by Robinson for Sheffield United. Out into the main stand it goes for a throw. West Ham, who've won their last 11 against teams starting bottom that particular day. Only in Premier League history have Manchester City had a longer winning streak than that of West Ham United so far. To Cornet, and it lifts back over the head of Sofal. Teeters down the touchline. He didn't keep the ball in play. It'll be a Sheffield United throw. 6 minutes in, 0-0. And it's a throw to Sheffield United that were in no real hurry to take.
And this is what I think when Wilder said he wants, the fans to get behind. This is where the players have to play at a quick tempo to try and get the fans behind them. He feels like Trusty when he's strolling up, he's walking up to the ball, do things quickly.
It was very good of Chris Wilder to give up so much of his time on a match day for that live interview with Colin Murray. Yeah. Of course, he started his new programme on 5 Live on a Sunday morning ahead of 5 Live Sport, 10 till 12. But it was interesting when I heard him say that he's not going to set any points target. He's not going to talk about a block of points that they need to get. But you don't need to be Einstein to work out that they need to go on a long winning run when they've only collected 9 points out of a possible 20. As Fodderman clears it away, and that certainly didn't get its intended target because of the wind. It was definitely held up on that occasion, but Bogle was alert to it, and playing into the wind, Sheffield United with Harmer on the far side. He wriggles his way free, diagonal ball on the ground. McAtee short of the halfway line, forward ball, releases Asula, it's pulled out wide, right hand side, fires over the cross. Brereton Diaz have made the run to the near post, out it goes for a throw.
And I think Will Asula has to be more sensible. It's good football, really good play on that right-hand side. I think when he gets into that position, Deno, because you said of the wind, I don't think it's one of those where you can whip it in the air. I think he should be whipping that hard and low, and maybe one of the West Ham players can score an own goal. It's just decision-making in that final third.
The familiar voice of Clinton Morrison on BBC Radio 5 Live, as Bowen was being tightly marked by Robinson. Sousa in that defensive midfield role for Sheffield United. The Bosnian international Anel Ahmedhodzic comes forward, and the ball is laid out towards Bogle, far side the right. Harmer collects it, a little bit of space for him to run to, and takes advantage of that space and then shoots, but it was right-footed. It was 30 yards out from goal, and in the end it was dragged well wide of Areola, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, you've seen him score there when his time at Coventry. He has got a good strike on him, but that was a bit optimistic against a good goalkeeper like Areola. But Sheffield United have started the better out of the two teams.
They've only had 3 wins in all competitions all season in 22 games. So yet to get that back-to-back winning feeling, and albeit their last time out at Priestfield was in the FA Cup. Chris Wilder was hoping that might just provide a little bit of momentum, just to try and be a little bit of a catalyst. Talked about the winning feeling, and that's why he was saying that game was the most important of their season. FA Cup 4th round next weekend. Brighton and Hove Albion will come here to South Yorkshire. If they could get 3 points as well, then that would give them a real fillip.
Deno, I know you know so much. Where is Alvarez? What's happened with Alvarez?
Edson Alvarez has got a calf injury.
Okay, calf injury. Just realised, I knew they were missing so many players, but I think he's been a key player for them this season in midfield. I think he's been a really good signing. Yeah, so they've got Paquetá out with a calf problem, Antonio knee problem, Bowen obviously fit today after he had been missing with an ankle issue. Fornals had an issue with his foot. Benrahma is suspended, and Kudos and Aguerd are both away at the African Cup of Nations. So that was the changes that West Ham United have made, 3 in total from the side that played Bristol City. Is Asula, McAtee,
rolls it square. Red and white shirt of Trusty rippling in the wind. Brereton Diaz to Souza, encouraged to shoot, does shoot. A bit of a power driver actually. It required the goalkeeper Areola to take a step away to his right and made a good save all in green, but he caught it well enough.
Yeah, it was a good strike from Souza. He must come have a good shot on him because the crowd are telling him to shoot, but I think it was a comfortable height for Areola, but as you say, he did get some meat behind it, but comfortable save from Areola.
Well, he's due a goal. Since he arrived in Europe, he's actually received more red cards than he's scored goals in European football, as the Brazilian midfielder who's yet to open up his account for Sheffield United. A try in the rugby union. Chris Jones.
Crucial try. It's gone to La Rochelle, Deno, playing against the wind in this half. They turned the ball over when Sale were really on the attack, and then launched a sweeping move which led to Antoine Hastoy going under the post from 50 metres. He's about to convert from straight in front. That is a crucial try that could send La Rochelle through and Sale out. Sale nil, La Rochelle 21, early stages of the second half.
Thank you, Chris. And what about Chelsea-Manchester United in the WSL? Oh, hold on, Ings could be in here. He lifts it goalwards, but Fotheringham came flapping and did enough to put him off. Sheffield had to get the ball away. Flo Pollock.
Chelsea 2, Manchester United 1. United had a penalty appeal on 75 minutes. Galton going down in the box. Nothing given. A real close encounter. Final 10 minutes. Chelsea 2, United 1.
Chelsea looking to go 3 points clear at the top of the table. Are you thinking, have you had a chance to look at it again for that?
I've just seen it there.
Flapping Fotheringham?
I don't know. He comes and he's flapping his leg. Yeah, but I think it's an opportunity for Danny Ings. I do think it's a golden opportunity for Danny Ings, and I think the weather plays a big part in that finish as well.
No goal in 29 for Danny Ings. It's the longest drought that he's ever endured in his career. Just one in 27, one goal in 27 Premier League appearances for the England international. 0-0 it remains, 12 minutes played. BBC Radio 5 Live. Here we are at Bramall Lane on a breezy afternoon, but for the time being it's dry. Clinton Morrison alongside me, and then later on we've got Bournemouth-Liverpool at 4:30. Free kick to West Ham United. Morocco incidentally leading DR Congo by a 1-0 in the African Cup of Nations. Hakimi's got that goal.
They look good.
They do look good.
They look like they could go all the way. They do.
I watched the Ivory Coast game the other day. I was disappointed against Ivory Coast in the game against Nigeria.
Yeah.
I always think as well for the host to go
nation.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Want to participate as long as possible. The World Service will of course provide always the best possible coverage when it comes to the African Cup of Nations. Free kick then to West Ham United. Ward-Prowse to take it. In it comes. Zuma with the header. Fotheringham with the save.
The West Ham fans were cheering.
They went very, very early, didn't they, with that?
He must have a bad view for him to think that was going in, because it was like a pass back, that header.
Fotheringham didn't even have to. Oh, Ings has won the ball against Ahmed Hodzic. Now finds Bowen, takes it into the penalty area. Bowen pulls it wide. Now there was a chance to maybe celebrate what was a lot closer than the header from Zuma.
And it's the first time I'm going to say Jared Bowen's decision making, because he goes back into his left foot, and if he just slides it one further to Maxwell Cornet, he's in on goal. But I suppose Maxwell Cornet didn't really say nothing because it was Jared Bowen, and he's been in fantastic goal scoring form. I've
got to say though, particularly when that end used to be a terrace and they used to have the pillars, that used to be one of the worst away ends
for
a supporter.
I definitely agree.
Behind there.
I think that supporter's right at the back. Look, right near. That's the one who cheered.
Yeah.
He ain't got a good view.
No. He just can't say that the pillars there is an obscured view on this occasion. And also the top tier, when they give the top tier as the away fans as well, that's one of the steepest stands as well to watch football in the Bramall Lane end of the ground. Anyway, 0-0, 14 minutes played. Brereton Diaz wins it for Sheffield United and runs forward. They've doubled up on him, back towards Brooks. Brooks holds on to the ball but is forced away from goal. Back towards Trusty, inside to Souza. Ahmed Hodzic comes forward, just slightly overruns it, nudges it towards Harmer. Lost a little bit of momentum as a result of that attack, and then the ball goes inside towards Souza. Bowen working hard off the ball, and Sheffield United not really going anywhere. Another goal, it's at Chelsea this time. Flo Pollock.
Chelsea 3, Manchester United 1, and it's a hat-trick for Lauren James. Cool finish into the bottom corner. You feel that's all 3 points secure. Chelsea 3, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, and that will secure their position looking to consolidate it, going 3 points clear at the top. Meanwhile, here at Bramall Lane, 0-0. Asula fouled by Zuma just outside the penalty area. Direct free kick to Sheffield United.
Yeah, it's danger, really. I think Norwood's usually their set piece, but he's on the bench. But you've got someone like Augusta Harmer who could have a shot on McAteer, and I think it's them two that are standing over the ball.
Well, it is right of the D, just outside the penalty area. So if it's going to be Harmer, it'll be his right foot, the left foot from McAtee. Harmer's gone 15 games without a goal.
Just got to hit the target, Deno. In this position here, as with the wind, test the goalkeeper. You have to.
Well, also, I would imagine that Alphonse Areola is not going to see this extremely well because there's so many bodies in that penalty area.
It's a big wall, though.
It is a big wall. West Ham have every blue shirt back inside the penalty area. McAtee has now almost got a direct run up. Now he takes a little step to the right. Harmer waits. There's the referee's whistle. It is Harmer, right-footed, strikes the head of Emerson and is repelled, and it will go out of play on that far side for a Sheffield United throw.
Big anticlimax that was. I don't even think he hits it clean enough. Harmer, surely in that situation, just drive it hard and low.
So in front of that strong travelling support, Sheffield United have a throw right-hand side. Robinson wanders across to take it. 16 minutes played. Going to be another long throw coming in from Robinson. In front of the John Street stand. In it goes now, over the head of Trusty, back out towards Robinson, and then prodded away from him by Fornells, but out for another throw. And West Ham still defending great in numbers, looking to try and protect that near post where both Sousa and Trusty are now loitering in front of the goalkeeper. In it goes, directed towards that area, headed out by Souček, fired back in the volley by Harmer, and then it came to Brooks. And Brooks hit at that, lashed at it left-footed over the top, goal kick, 0-0.
It's a chance. I'm telling you, that Robinson, I didn't know he had a long throw like that. It just reminds me of Rory Delap, but nowhere near as far as Rory Delap is. But good opportunity for their Brooks at the end of it. I think Soufal just does enough in front to close him down, but good opportunity for Brooks.
Or if you want to also go about the Dave Challinor throw.
Oh, you know, he could launch it. Yeah,
days.
Chandler could launch it.
Wow. He could launch it, I think, from
anywhere, in his own half.
Yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
Stepping out of defence was Ahmed Hodzic. Brooks then tidies up in the midfield. Took a little time to bobble for Trusty. Robinson goes back. Another try in that La Rochelle Sale European tie. Chris Jones.
Sale 0, La Rochelle, the double defending champions, 30. Sale have the win this half. It's a serious win, but La Rochelle have struck two hammer blows, one through Hastoy, one through Kerr-Barlow. It looks game over as Sale desperately try and get back into it, and I think they have. Aaron Reid at the corner, that's something. If that's given, it'll be Sale 5, La Rochelle 30, but we need to check the grounding.
Thank you, Chris. I wouldn't say we've got a serious wind here just as yet, would you?
No, not serious. You can see the ball is holding up a bit, but I wouldn't say it's a serious wind at the moment. We need some good weather. We've had some bad weather over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Could do with some goals.
Oh, for sure.
Here is Harmer. He's overhit that.
Oh,
Zuma, nobody gave Zuma the call. That was sailing straight out of play for a goal kick. Zuma's the only one who's reacted, didn't get a call from his fellow defenders or indeed his goalkeeper, so he's then headed the ball behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, and surely Areola's there. He's got to tell him to just leave it. Yeah, there's nothing behind you, leave it. So it's difficult. He's backpedaling Zuma. Communication has to be better.
19 minutes played. Harmer with a corner, far side the right. It's an outswinger. Zuma reacts to it, heads it out, comes towards Brooks, plays it in low to the penalty area. Struck the hand of Robinson. Spotted by the referee, Michael Salisbury. Free kick to West Ham United. 0-0 it remains. Bournemouth-Liverpool to come later on at 4:30. The Monday Night Club tomorrow, of course, with Mark Chapman from 7. And then on Tuesday night, we're at Stamford Bridge. Kelly Cates presenting. Chelsea-Middlesbrough, the second leg of that League Cup semi-final, and we'll stay in West London for Wednesday night, Fulham against Liverpool for that second semi, and then indeed, before we know it, fourth round of the FA Cup weekend, and once more we're in the capital on Friday night for Tottenham against Manchester City. Incidentally, that try was not given, so it remains Sale 0, La Rochelle 30. And you'll be there, will you not?
Yeah.
North London?
Yeah, North London. Tottenham, Man City, what a game. Looking forward to it.
Covering the miles for 5 Live.
Yeah, as you do.
0-0 it remains here in the Premier League, though. This is Bowen. Bowen enters the penalty area, then finds Fornells. Emerson on the overlap, easily intercepted by Bogle, running back into his penalty area, and he gets a throw. Just looking at some of the statistics since Chris Wilder was reappointed, they've reduced the goals conceded from 28 to 17. They've reduced the shots faced from 19 to 13.7 as Asula can't go through the middle. He's stumbled over. And the expected goals against has also been reduced from 2.23 to 1.52.
Are you surprised by that? But did you ever expect Wilder to come in there and not do a good job? I know it didn't work for him at Middlesbrough, but Chris Wilder, this is his football club. He knows the DNA of this football club, and he always gets a tune out of players. So it doesn't surprise me that I just think attacking-wise they have to be a bit better. Putting the chances, but then he's a bit short on attacking options. The only thing I was surprised is that Archer hasn't started today, because I think he's the best finisher that they've got at the football club.
Yes, he did start the last game against Gillingham for a Sheffield United side that are 8 points adrift of safety. The ball is played on the inside of Harmer, but it goes straight to Souček. Souček goes dispossessed by Bogle, who runs forward. Looked offside, flag stays down for the time being. Brereton Diaz, an excellent save by the goalkeeper. Now the late flag is up. He did look offside when the ball was played through. And the fact that the free kick has already been taken, but that was still nevertheless a chance for Sheffield United. They were unable to take it as the header from Trusty. That's gone a little bit awry. Picked up by Cornet. Cornet pulls it back. Nobody is there. It was played behind Danny Ings. All of a sudden, the game's gone a little bit open.
It has, and this is what we needed, to be fair. In both situations, but Diaz doesn't have to make that run early, and the linesman should put the flag up early enough.
Harmer. Brereton Diaz again staying out wide left. Brooks wants the ball played ahead of him. Here is Brooks, left-hand side of the penalty area, teasing ball, cut out by Mavropanos, back towards Brooks. Tries to play it left side, left-footed again. That was blocked. Sheffield United still have it. Trusty. Brooks on this near side. He's going to have to go it alone. Oh, he's nutmegged so foul. Cuts it back. Brereton Diaz with a shot! And it was straight at Areola, 0-0. Good passage of play.
Yeah, good play from the youngster Brooks. He just puts it through Soufal's leg. A little nutmeg, cheeky nutmeg. Plays it to Diaz. Diaz never looked confident though, then. He looked like a man who hasn't been scoring. He should just put his foot through it, but nah, it's been a good passage of play from both teams.
Brereton Diaz looking to try and open up his Sheffield United account on his Premier League debut.
Oh, he got him back.
Soufal gets the better of Brereton Diaz on this occasion, but then Souček gives the ball away. Really has opened up. This is Sousa. Infield to McAtee. Layoff to Harmer. No width on that right-hand side. Harmer had to try and find McAtee, who was making slowly but surely a run back out towards the right, but Bogle was short or slowly to get there. They were a little bit lopsided in that respect, but here is Sousa. Crowd are certainly gaining in confidence as well. Chris Wilder is urging those red and white striped shirts forward. Harmer right of the centre circle. Took a double deflection and it deceived McAtee, and he was unable to control it far side, and it will be a West Ham throw.
I always see when it's so important to West Ham, but when they're trying to play, this is why, when they're trying to play Deno out from the back and stuff like that, Souček is not that kind of player, and 2 or 3 times he's had the ball in midfield, gave sloppy passes away. He's better off in getting into the box and let the likes of Ward-Prowse get on the ball, but that's where they're missing Alvarez in midfield as well.
Yes, yeah, Paquetá too. Here is Bogle. Bogle, right-hand side, midway through the West Ham United half. Looked like he'd been tripped, but the referee, Michael Salisbury, says not. Back it goes to Areola, clears it. Good header by Trusty over Cornet. Comes to Mavropanos, gets it out from underneath his feet, hits it right-footed. It's a high hanging ball. Gives Bogle a chance to attack it to Fornells. It'll be a West Ham throw on the halfway line. 0-0. 25 minutes played. BBC Radio 5 Live. Also listen, of course, through the BBC Sounds app. As West Ham United, eventually it's Ings who shows himself, comes very, very deep. His crossfield ball just reached Brereton Diaz, nudges it back towards Sousa. Referee, though, has given a foul for a challenge on Brereton Diaz, who's back to his feet. And there'll be a free kick to the home team. As Kevin Noel is just out in that technical area. He's just saying, calm down, as he now exchanges places with David Moyes. Very good article by Jonathan Northcroft a fortnight ago in the Sunday Times with David Moyes. He was talking about that they've always agreed that talks would take place in January over a new contract because it does expire in June. Because he's a manager who still seems to polarise opinion of the West Ham support.
And I'm very surprised. Maybe, as Julian said, it's the style of play, but that's how David Moyes' teams are. But they are successful. They are very successful.
Ball up to Asula, tried to turn and laid off towards Brooks. Cleared only as far as Sousa. Outside the centre circle in the West Ham half. Harmer's forward ball. McAtee, nice sharp turn, tried to place his effort. He bounds off Emerson behind for a corner kick. But Sheffield United will take over on that far side. I think they might wait for Harmer once again for this in-swinging corner.
He's a good player, Harmer. You know what he does, Deno, as a midfielder? Always looks to pass forward, and a difficult pass as well.
So Harmer to take the corner. Actually, it's going to be an out-swinging corner from the right, and it comes now. Trusty with a header, planted straight into the midriff of the goalkeeper, Areola.
It's a free header. He's got to be. And listen, it's difficult because I know it's an out-swing and you probably prefer an in-swinger, but it's a great ball. And he times his run. There's no one marking him, and it's straight at Areola. He's really got to be directing that into the corners.
In the article, though, going back to David Moyes, Jonathan Northcroft did point this out with his statistics that in 11 he's had 11 top 8 finishes in 15 completed Premier League seasons, David Moyes.
That says it all then, doesn't it? The stats don't lie.
No,
they back it up,
don't.
how good he is.
You know, that is a consistent performer. Certainly how Everton supporters would have wanted a return to those days in the turbulent years that they've endured since his departure, flirting with relegation. I hope that Sean Dyche is able to provide that same level of stability now that he's in charge. As here is Sofal, right-hand side of the penalty area, pulls it to Ings. Ings wriggles free, tries to place it, blocked, comes out then towards Cornet, who fires the ball left-footed past Foderingham. And Maxwell Cornet has scored his first goal for West Ham United, and they lead by a goal to 0.
Yeah, it was coming to be. And you know what? It's the best passage of play from West Ham, where they built up from the back. Souček plays a good ball, and Danny Ings is playing in that number 10. Bowen's playing through the middle. Great play from Danny Ings, and he does well. Sufal picks him up, quick feet, and it's blocked. But it's a good finish from Cornet, because I didn't think he started the game at all good, but what a finish. He controls the volley and it goes past Foderingham. Really well taken goal from Cornet.
It was Danny Ings who had the block shot, but nobody had really picked up Cornet, and there he was, edge of the 6-yard box, hammers it inside past Foderingham. Yeah,
that's a difficult skill, you know, Deno. A lot of people say he's close to the goal, but you still got to control the volley, and he controlled it brilliantly. Really good finish from Cornet. And Foderingham, no chance. It's too close to him.
First time right-footed shot, and it's his first goal since he scored for Burnley against Newcastle in May 2022. And Sheffield United are behind. So West Ham, who have this excellent away record, are leading by a goal to 0. Chelsea, Manchester United, Flo Pollock.
Full time, Chelsea moved 3 points clear at the top of the WSL. They've beaten United 3-1. Lauren James with a hat-trick. United pulled a goal back through Hayley Ladd, but they're now 10 points adrift of Chelsea. So Mark Skinner outsigns in the United fans too. Full time, Chelsea 3, Manchester United 1.
Updating the rugby union now. Sale La Rochelle, Chris Jones.
Hour gone. Sale 0, La Rochelle 30. Sale have huffed and puffed with the wind on their backs this half, but nothing to show for it. 2 tries disallowed, Roebuck and Reed, and those hammer blows from La Rochelle have put them on the brink of the last 16. Sale have just scored from Roebuck, but feels a little bit little and a little bit late. Sale 5, La Rochelle 30, barring a miracle. It's La Rochelle going through and Sale going out.
And here, Bramall Lane, Sheffield United trail by 1-0. They've just conceded their 50th Premier League goal, and only the third team actually to concede 50 goals at this stage of a season, 21 games or fewer, after Barnsley in 97-98 and West Brom in the campaign of 2021. And you won't be surprised to know that both of those sides were also relegated. But Sheffield United, who've conceded the opening goal now in 17 Premier League games, which is the highest of this top-flight campaign, and they're yet to win when they have conceded first. They've drawn 2 and lost 14 of the previous 16. And so they face a tall order. But they have got a throw on this left-hand side that Robinson goes in. Bouncing ball, not dealt with. Asula thought he was going to go for the acrobatics there, and in the end it was Ings to clear the ball away. On that far side, Ward-Prowse, who was just caught by Sousa, and that will be a free kick to West Ham United. It suits now West Ham to play on the counter-attack.
Yeah, of course it does, and that's what people say about David Moyes' team. They've got that goal, but Sheffield United have played well. You just haven't. You get spells in matches, and when you're on top, you've got to be clinical, and that's the story of Sheffield United's season, not being clinical enough.
Ball played forward by Sofal, looking for the run of Bowen, cut out by Robinson. Robinson chips the ball long and forward, doesn't beat the stretching neck of Souček to head the ball back forward, and then Souček slides into the challenge to curb the run of Brooks, and out of play it goes for a throw. Leeds United earlier beat Preston North End by 2-1 in the Championship. Leeds stay fourth, but they're now only 4 points behind third-placed Ipswich Town. We'll have news of Bucky Thistle against the defending champions Celtic in the Scottish Cup in that fourth-round tie at Parkhead a little later. And of course the next commentary is at 4:30, Bournemouth against Liverpool. Match of the day 2 tonight is on BBC One at 10:30. But 13 minutes to go to half-time. West Ham lead by 1-0. David Moyes just in conversation with Kevin Nolan as the throw goes over the head of Bowen. It was probably their first. Was that their first serious attack?
Yeah, I would say it was. They've had a few. No, the second one probably Jared Bowen when he drags the shot wide.
Right across the wider goal. You're right. Sorry, but they've scored with their second best attack, and they lead 1-0. McAtee floats the ball forward. Brereton Diaz with a downward header. Brooks tries to get there first and succeeds. Enters the penalty area. Brereton Diaz, quite a heavy first touch, but still keeps it with the red and white stripes. Sues that little flick inside. Harmer 30 yards out from goal. Forward ball to Brereton Diaz. It was good football. Just that final piece was missing. It was a yard, probably too far ahead of Brereton Diaz, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's the one, Harmer. He's the one. As I said, he's a footballer, intelligent footballer, trying to get into little pockets, trying to make things happen. I think I want a bit more from Brereton Diaz on this left-hand side, but they've been good so far. He has been a threat, Brereton Diaz, but I just think when you've been brought in, there is big pressure on you, and they need you to start delivering.
In the Women's Super League, Flo told you that Chelsea had beaten Manchester United by 3-1 at the top of the table. Down at the bottom, Brighton, who has been struggling, are leading bottom of the table Bristol City by 1-0 in the WSL. We'll also keep in touch with the latest between Manchester City's women and Liverpool's women. But 11 minutes to go to half-time in the Premier League. West Ham lead by 1-0 against bottom of the table Sheffield United. As the ball goes back to Fotheringham. Gives it away to Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse complains he was nudged off the ball as he tried to run forward. Referee lets the game flow. Michael Salisbury. Zuma steps out of defence, wins not one but 2 duels. He then says he thought he was fouled. Again the referee says play on. Urged on by Chris Wilder once more. Trusty running into the wind now. Brereton Diaz near side the left. Brereton Diaz back towards Brooks, 25 yards out from goal, squares it, Bogle chips it into the penalty area, plucked out of the air with ease by Areola.
It's too straight there, Jayden Bogle. You've got to angle the pass. As I said, it's a windy one, and if you're going to just... This is what Sheffield United do. Good football up until the edge of the box. Final pass, final cross, final shot is letting them down at the moment.
West Ham lead by a goal to nil. The voice of Clinton Morrison on BBC Radio 5 Live and the BBC Sounds app. Here is Bowen, plays the ball a long way back to Mavropanos. Now finds Fornals on this near side. He'll switch play, looks towards the goal scorer Cornet. Cornet's layoff to Emerson on the inside of him allows Robinson to step forward, and now they can maybe attack that area vacated by Emerson, who's desperate to get back into that left back role. McAtee's carried the ball a long way, goes into the penalty area, goes to ground far too easily.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get a penalty for that. I think Souček just stands his ground, and McAtee was running out of space. Great run from McAtee, just not enough support, not enough players getting up supporting the likes of Brooks, Halma, Brereton Diaz, Asula. They have to get up and help McAtee when he's in their position, but no, I think Souček stands his ground ever so well.
Blimey, if penalties are given for that, then we know the game has gone.
Me and you are packing it in if that is.
I'm just pleased that they never even went to VAR.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know.
Nothing would surprise you these days.
Exactly, mate.
West Ham lead by a goal to nil. Bogle far side to right for Sheffield United as they play from right to left. Harmer. Ahmed Hodzic. Fotheringham the goalkeeper. Robinson collects it. Diagonal ball forward to Brooks. Just a little bit more debris just starting to come onto the playing surface now, which indicates that the wind is starting to increase. Harmer outside the centre circle. Waits. Brereton Diaz pops up in a central area forward of the centre circle. McAtee. Asula has made that run into the inside right channel. The angle is tight. Gets the shot away. Going across the face of goal. But again, I think that the wind was never going to take it towards it. It was always going to repel it away from Areola's goal at that left-hand side.
Listen, he does ever so well. It's a good little turn, but then I think he has to get his head up and know there's not really many people in the box. Stay on the ball in and around that box and wait for support, because he is causing problems, young Asula.
Scored his first goals for Sheffield United against Gillingham in the FA Cup at the 20th time of asking. Brooks against Sofal. And it will be a throw to West Ham United, which Sofal eventually will take. Fornals to his feet, hooks it away downfield, hooks it out of play for a Sheffield United throw. Last visit to Bramall Lane, they won by a goal to nil, did West Ham. It was in November 2020. But Sheffield United haven't lost back-to-back league games against the Hammers since 1963. And John Harris was the manager of Sheffield United. But they've got to come from behind. The struggling Premier League side here today as they're behind. Here is Bogle. Forward ball, scooped clear by Zuma. Royal blue short sleeve shirt, wearing a pair of black gloves as he ushers his defence out. Fornals picked it up and brought to ground by Harmer, who's going to be shown a yellow card, I think, from Michael Salisbury. First yellow card of the game is shown to the Sheffield United player. 1-0 to West Ham.
Listen, I understand Sheffield United want to try and play out from the back, but sometimes they don't have the players to do that. Robinson just plays a short ball. It's not really that kind of day to be doing that. Just get it up to your strikers and play off for them.
Well, Ward-Prowse is going to take this free kick. It's midway through the Sheffield United half. They're playing from left to right as we look. They're attacking the Cop end, for those of you who know Bramall Lane. Sheffield United have a line of red and white striped shirts on the edge of their penalty area. Fornals is just peeled away to the right corner of the box at the moment. And then there are 5 blue shirts to aim for Ward-Prowse. Fornals has now got into a central area. In it comes now, arcs its way in. Headed up by Robinson and then cleared very well by Asula inside his penalty area. Emerson now will cut inside. And he finds Bowen. Bowen has a look up, tries to cut the ball back, partially cleared, in, shot blocked, and Sheffield United will survive that latest chance.
It's a great chance. To be fair, Jared Bowen in that area, he's looking and no one's in the box for a tap-in. It then does fall to Ings, but it's a good block, good defending from Jayden Bogle, but another good opportunity, because if they concede then, I say it would be game over.
Yeah, very hard to see Sheffield United coming from 2-0 down. As it is, they just trailing to that Maxwell Cornet goal just before the half hour. We've got 5 minutes to go to half time. Throw from Sofal into the penalty area. and it was cleared by Brooks. He was right to clear it. I don't think he knew who was around him, but it came off a Sheffield United head in that crowded penalty area, and he was taking no chances.
I think you're right. I think Fodram's got to talk to him. He was coming to get the ball, and I think Brooks panicked. I think it's spot on Deno. He didn't know what was around him. Same at the other end when it happened to Zuma.
So a corner kick to West Ham. Ward-Prowse to take it, taking quite a lot of care to place the ball down in the quadrant on that far side. Left arm goes aloft, in it goes. Bowen tried to meet it on the half volley.
Oh, that is a chance.
7 yards out, couldn't get the connection.
It's a great chance. I think there's a block there. It's a great ball from Ward-Prowse. You expect that, one of the best set pieces there is around, but Bowen gets there and he completely just miskicks it, like kind of fluffs his chance. But yeah, it's good movement, good block from Zuma, and a good opportunity from Jared Bowen there.
You look at the statistics for Sheffield United. They scored the fewest goals, 15. They've now conceded 50, which is the most in the Premier League. It doesn't bode well for them. Rooted at the bottom of the table as McAtee puts it away downfield, headed away by Sofal. Under 4 minutes to go to half-time on 5 Live. Ward-Prowse for a West Ham United side that could go 5 points clear of Manchester United into 6th. And that was a foul. Ward-Prowse is going to get shown a yellow card here for a challenge on Bogle.
Yeah, I think Maxwell Cornet, apart from scored a goal, I think he's been poor in possession, gave the ball away again, too easy to be dispossessed. And I think Ward-Prowse has to make that tackle, has to go and make that tackle, because I think Jayden Bogle is going towards goal then.
For the perfect time to get back on level terms for the home team. Just over 3 minutes to go to the break. They trail by a goal to nil to Sheffield United. West Ham have got every Royal Blue shirt back in and around their penalty area, but it's over 30 yards out from goal. Quite central, this free kick. McAtee and Harmer in a little bit of a dialogue to decide what they're going to do. Brooks wanders away as Harmer, right-footed, floats it in, headed out by Soucek, picked up by Sousa, able to turn, a little bit cumbersome, but does indeed eventually work over the cross that is blocked by Sofal, and it will be a throw down by the corner.
You're not wrong, Deno. That looked very stiff, that turn. He looked like it took an age to get to the ball and then didn't really know what he was going to do with it.
I'm like that every morning at the minute.
Me too.
Here is Robinson to take it. Robinson in between some of the photographers and the substitutes. The referee, though, wants him a little bit closer to the corner flag. In it comes now, long throw. Ward-Prowse climbs high at the near post, helped away further by Fornells. Bogle almost caught in possession, but then plays it square. McAtee 10 yards inside the West Ham half, hits it forward. Trusty directs his header, might fall to Osula. Very good save. Brereton Diaz hammers in the rebound, and Sheffield United are level. And Brereton Diaz, on his Premier League debut, scores his first ever goal in his top-flight career, and Sheffield United are level at 1-1.
Nah, I called it. I thought the first one was going to be a goal because I could see the header from Trusty. It's a good header, and Osula gets on the end of it. It's a great save from Areola, but I must say the first touch from Brereton Diaz was outstanding because you're running at pace. He manages to control it with the left foot, and the finish is even better, Deno. It's a brilliant finish right into the roof of the net. Gave Areola no chance. I'm watching it. It's a great header from Trusty.
Onside, by the way.
He's onside. Osula. Good save from Areola. It's that from Brereton Diaz. The touch in front of Ward-Prowse, and it's a great finish.
Well, they just kept it alive. I mean, the save from Areola from Osula's header, strong wrist, because he was away towards his right-hand side. It was a one-handed save. There was a first touch by Brereton Diaz to get it away from Ward-Prowse, and then he just hammered it.
Yeah, it's a great finish. It's a great finish from Brereton Diaz. You see Chris Wilder celebrating with the fans, the big grin on his face, but it's probably what they deserve. They have been good. I think they've been good, and as I said, in the final third they haven't been good enough, but the touch and the finish from Brereton Diaz is brilliant.
And on the balance of play, a fair reflection?
Yeah, fair reflection. Yeah, I'd say a fair reflection. I think probably Sheffield United be disappointed the goal they conceded, but West Ham have created chances. So yeah, fair reflection.
2 minutes have added on time, which are yet to be indicated to the crowd, because the fourth official is Darren Bond, and he's struggling with the hefty electronic board.
The board's bigger than Darren Bond, that's why he's struggling, Deno.
If that was a secret gadget for James Bond, you wouldn't trust him, would you? Imagine if O's just handed him that and said, here, this is your device to save the country and your life. There he is, he's still struggling with it. 2 minutes have been indicated anyway, and we're now into that here at Bramall Lane. And it's 1-1. We wanted goals to line it up, and we've got them. Brooks now on this near side in stoppage time. Back to Trusty. Sousa. Sousa's given the ball away to Cornet. Cornet latches onto it, runs forward, and then he's dispossessed. And Sousa's able to get the ball clear. Now Harmer runs away. McAtee lets it run in front of him. Looks for the run of Asula. Zuma will tidy up. Let's get an update in the Rugby Union. Chris Jones.
Sale have a second try. Gus Creevy from short range. La Rochelle currently down to 13 men, but still loads for Sale to do. 11 minutes to go. Sale 12, La Rochelle 30.
Thank you, Chris. Manchester City's women have fallen behind to Liverpool's women. That's third against fifth in the WSL, so Liverpool lead there. Brighton, remember, still lead bottom of the table. Bristol City by a goal to nil. We're in stoppage time here at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, West Ham United 1. As a striker, how good is it for an individual as Asula tries to roll away from his man, gets the ball, looks for a shooting opportunity, and goes behind for a corner kick? We'll save that question for a little later, because Sheffield United finishing the half very, very strongly. They have a corner. Yeah,
Asula, he does ever so well. And fair play, he tries to get his shot off, but if he gets his head up, Brereton Diaz is to his left and in a great position. But as I said, Asula, he's been a handful. He's caused Mavropanos and Zuma a lot of problems in this first half. But yeah, as a striker, getting your first goal for your club, and that's what you were going to ask me, it's always brilliant, because you don't want it to go on and on and on, especially if you've been brought in to score goals. And yeah, see, great minds think alike. I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well, given that he made 20 appearances in total for Villarreal, only the 2 starts and didn't score at all, he really did struggle. So he scored his first goal on the top flight. Sheffield United are level. They've got a corner kick far side the right. Harmer to take it. It's an outswinger. Wynn's got hold of that, and the goalkeeper eventually gathers in at the second time of asking, and there is the whistle from Michael Salisbury. Half-time at Bramall Lane, 1 apiece. It was Cornet just before the half hour who put West Ham United ahead at the far post, but Brereton Diaz hammering home the equaliser. Clinton.
Yeah, he is, and David Moyes has gone over to see the one of the linesmen. He's not happy about something grabbing. He's not happy, but you're right, it's been a good first half, a really entertaining first half, really good first half. It's been fun, it's been enjoyable, to be fair, and playing in these difficult conditions. Both teams have tried to play football the right way.
What do you think's the beef with David Moyes?
He was going to it was in the linesman. He was saying maybe there was holding or something that he was doing. Maybe he's seen something on his laptop, but that's what he's gesturing to the linesman. He's not happy. He'll probably have a word with them when they go inside that tunnel.
Well, certainly all to play for second half. Half-time then, Sheffield United 1, West Ham United 1. Steve.
Clinton, it's the 28th game that Ben Brereton Diaz has played for club and country across the course of this season for Villarreal and Chile and now Sheffield United, and his first goal. What a time to get it.
Nice. Sometimes, yeah, listen, you make that big move. We know he scored goals in the Championship. Can he make the step up to the Premier League? And that's the big test, but it's the perfect time to score, I think, at home, on your home debut. And yeah, it was a good touch and a really good finish, and he's been a threat on that left hand side, Crossy, because it's difficult to pick up. He goes into little pockets, and I think he's been a real threat on that left hand side.
The thing is, he played a lot of his time there for Blackburn Rovers as well. I think because he scored so many goals, maybe people forget that he wasn't playing just through the middle as a striker. So it's kind of ironic, given we spent so much time before the game talking about Jared Bowen. Those players are so valuable, who can start out wide but also be a predator in the box.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he's a number 9. I don't think he's can play with his back to goal. I think he's better coming from that left-hand side. And you're right, when he was at Blackburn, he scored a lot of goals from the left-hand side. So I think that's his position. Listen, he was in the central position when it came to him, but he has got that instinct, that striker's instinct, because when it falls to him, where Ward-Prowse can't touch him in the box, the finish is fantastic to beat Areola.
Good first half, set up very nicely. Ian Clinton, thank you very much indeed. Sheffield United 1, West Ham 1. Coming up shortly, we'll be at the Vitality for the first time today. Remember, full commentary of Bournemouth versus Liverpool at 4:30. Other scores in the Championship, last minute penalty for Leeds United earlier. It finished Leeds 2, Preston 1. Leeds 4 points off the automatic promotion places. Chelsea have gone further clear in the WSL after a 3-1 win over Manchester United. Lauren James scoring a hat-trick. Half-time in the WSL, Brighton 1, Bristol City 0. And 20 minutes on the clock, Manchester City 1, Liverpool 1. At 4 o'clock today, Celtic versus Bucky Thistle in the Scottish Cup. More on that to come this afternoon as well. We'll get the news now on 5 Live with Carl Hartley.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. The Met Office has issued a threat to life warning as Storm Isha approaches. Heavy rain and winds of up to 80 miles per hour are predicted for much of the country. The worst of the weather will be overnight. Our reporter Sharon Barber is in Blackpool.
The whole of the UK pretty much is going to be battered by Storm Isha. Lots of warnings out around travel, flights, ferries, roads, trains, all being affected. Warnings about power cuts.
A 17-year-old boy who was found with stab wounds in Birmingham city centre yesterday afternoon has died. Police have launched a murder investigation. The Defence Secretary says it's disappointing that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected the creation of a Palestinian state. Grant Shapps says the UK remains committed to a two-state solution to the conflict. Shelley Talmaran is an opposition MP in the Israeli Parliament and says there's a need to change the government.
We prefer not to go to elections. We prefer to change the government and make a wide government within consent within different parties in the House. But definitely we think that we should have a new leadership.
The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 25,000 people have been killed in the territory since October. Hamas is still holding more than 130 Israeli hostages in the territory. Officials in the Russian-controlled city of Donetsk in eastern Ukraine say 25 people have been killed during an attack on a market. The region's Kremlin-backed governor blames it on Ukraine. Kyiv has yet to comment. And Charles University in Prague has reopened its arts faculty exactly a month since a gunman killed 14 students and members of staff. Staff have described the reopening as a huge step in the healing process.
On the Football Daily Podcast.
The Women's Football Weekly.
With me, Ellen White.
Ellen White coming forward for England, and there is the second!
I'm Eden Haynes with some of the biggest names in the WSL joining us every week to discuss everything that's happening in the women's game.
Right after the World Cup, got told, we're going to America. I thought, amazing. 10 days into training, did my meniscus, and the next day they flew to America.
Blocked header 6 yards out, Ellen White!
The Women's Football Weekly Podcast.
New episodes every Wednesday.
Subscribe to the Football Daily on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Half-time at Bramall Lane in the Premier League. Sheffield United 1, West Ham 1. We've got second-half commentary on the way. Remember, we told you earlier that Sale had to win today against La Rochelle if they wanted to progress in the European Champions Cup. It's not going to happen, Chris Jones.
It's not. Sale 12, La Rochelle 37. The double defending champs La Rochelle have a fourth try. Suteni with an interceptor settled the game. It's felt over, though, really, for a while, Steve. Despite those two Sale scores, La Rochelle at 1 point 30-0 up. So really disappointing this for Sale in front of a big crowd here. They're going out of the Champions Cup, but a statement win from the double defending champions who haven't been at their best in the competition this season, but they'll fancy their chances wherever they go, even though it will be away from home. Dying minutes here, 5 to go. Sale 12, La Rochelle 37.
Bath are at Toulouse at 3:15 and Exeter Chiefs at Bayonne at 5:30 in the European Challenge Cup. Lions 28, Ospreys 38 is a live score and full-time. Perpignan 23. Newcastle Falcons 32. Couple of other stories for you today. Rory McIlroy has successfully defended his title at the Dubai Desert Classic. He shot a 2-under par round of 70, winning by a single stroke from Poland's Adrian Adrian Moronk. At the Australian Open tennis, Novak Djokovic is through to the quarterfinals. He beat France's Adrian Manarino 6-love, 6-love, 6-3. Andrei Rublev came from 2-1 down to beat Alex de Minaur in a 5-set thriller. In the women's draw, Coco Gauff is through to the last 8 with a straight sets win over Poland's Magdalena Frech. And in cricket, England's Harry Brook is returning home from the men's tour of India for personal reasons. Surrey's Dan Lawrence has been named as his replacement. The first test starts in Hyderabad on Thursday. In the WSL, Lauren James scored a hat-trick as Chelsea beat Manchester United 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. Here's her manager Emma Hayes with Joe Curry.
Well, Emma, congratulations. A fantastic result, a fantastic performance. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, first half we were absolutely superb. We really were. I was so disappointed to concede the goal because I thought we were so dominant. But credit to Manchester United. I mean, just such a strong start. The players have been talking all week about they want to see a Chelsea standards, and I thought we had that in abundance. So the duels, our ability to retain the ball, we carried out the game plan to perfection. And yes, second half, it had its moments. It's to be expected they're a top side, but I think we deserve winners today.
You touched there on your strong start. You absolutely shot out of the blocks. Was that the message to hit the ground running today? Something that you perhaps didn't do last week?
To be honest with you, I think the players have taken a lot of good ownership this week of the things they wanted to see from each other, and I think they delivered that.
There's been so much talk about how you fill the big void left by Sam Kerr's injury. Lauren James absolutely took her opportunity today. Was that the best of her that we saw this afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both sides of the ball. She did it as a 9 in the second half, a 10 in the first half. I can't ask any more from Lauren James today. She really responded with the performance her team wanted from her too. And equally, I thought we played a strong team performance the whole game.
The Chelsea manager Emma Hayes. Other scores for you: half-time, Brighton 1, Bristol City 0, Manchester City 1, Liverpool 1. If City can win that game, they will go second in the table, but they will still be 3 points behind Chelsea after that victory. Back to the men's football in the Championship. Leeds scored an injury time penalty to beat Preston 2-1, scored by striker Joel Pirro. That's his 12th goal of the season. Moves them 4 points behind the automatic promotion places, 54 points for them. Here's their manager Daniel Farke.
Yes, these type of wins are the best and season-defining moments, because when you don't have the best, your best game, and I think especially in the first half was definitely not our best performance of the season, and you have such a well-performing opponent, Preston side, who plays that with aggression, with intensity, with experience, well-structured. So to win this game in the last moments of the game, it's not a better feeling. So we had many electrifying home performances with many goals where the game was already done at halftime, but this type of wins are the best.
Will you be cheering on Leicester tomorrow in terms of just trying to slow up that Ipswich and Southampton gap?
No, because for me it's just important what we do on Wednesday against Norwich. At this moment, it's hard to predict who will be there in the top positions or direct opponent for us in the end of the season. You never know where we are exactly, and also who's next to you on the table. So for that, I don't overinterpret these games after 20-30 game days. Yes, from game day 42 on, it will be important. But tomorrow I just try to analyze Norwich. They are also a really good side at the moment. Also with confidence will be another difficult task, and for that's the only game that really matters for me during this week.
Leeds United boss Daniel Farke. There's one game in the Scottish Cup fourth round today. Highland Football League side Buckie Thistle, who were fifth in the fifth tier, travel to the holders Celtic. Kenny Crawford is at Celtic Park. Kenny, you may have heard we spoke to the only full-time employee at Buckie earlier, Stephen Chan, the general manager. What a day for that club.
Unbelievable day for them, Stephen. What we're thinking just now, when we're looking at the weather we're seeing in Glasgow at the moment, it's pouring rain. It has been for the last 2 hours. It's predicted to be for the next 2 hours or so, and also winds of 50 to 60 miles an hour. So is that going to be a leveller for a Highland League side probably used to playing in conditions like this? I texted the defender, Buckie defender, last night, Daryl McHardy. He was on the Monday Night Club a few weeks ago. Some people might remember hearing from him. He replied saying he was stupidly nervous, but I think they're really looking forward to this as well. They're going to be well supported. The population of Buckie is about 8,300, a small fishing town on the north coast of Scotland, and they're expecting about 5,000 down here today. So if you want a nice, quiet, peaceful afternoon, Buckie is your place. There's not going to be many people up there. The team stayed in a hotel overnight in Glasgow. The manager, Graham Stewart, explained how that in itself is an experience for these players who would normally not do any luxurious kind of travelling like that. And the game could be worth about 250,000 to Buckie Thistle, so a great occasion for them. And if they want inspiration, Steve, you only have to go back to the year 2000. Another Thistle, Inverness Cally Thistle, shocked Celtic 3-1 here on the 8th of February 2000. Some players that played for Celtic that night: Mark Viduka, Reggie Blinker and Ian Wright, would you believe. So 4 o'clock kick-off, we're looking forward to it. Callum McGregor's out for Celtic.
Super Buckie go ballistic. Who knows? Could happen. 4 o'clock kickoff. We'll keep you right across that. Sheffield United 1, West Ham 1 in the Premier League. Back at Bramall Lane shortly for second half commentary. Then we'll be off to the Vitality Stadium. Full commentary at 4:30 of Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Ali Bruce Ball is there for us. This is intriguingly set up, Ali, I think, isn't it?
Oh, really well set up, Steve. I watched Bournemouth recently. I think it was just before Christmas. They beat Fulham by 2-0. Looked really good. First time I've seen them live this season. I think they'll give Liverpool a real test. We're watching the two form teams in the division, really. You look at the last 10 games, both of them have taken 22 points apiece. Bournemouth have done it with 7 wins, a draw and 2 defeats, and Liverpool unbeaten in that time, 8 wins and a couple of draws. And I think it'll come down to a little bit, Steve, sort of who can best cope without some key men. And I think particularly from Bournemouth's point of view, the worry there is Marcos Senesi, who's been so good in the heart of defence. He's suspended today. Ouattara's away at the African Cup of Nations. Adam Smith is out. Marcus Tavernier may well have to play left back. And I know Liverpool are missing both Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andrew Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas, but you just feel sort of with the depth of squad, if you compare the two teams, that it's going to be slightly harder for Bournemouth to do that. But I think they're going to give Liverpool a real test today.
Ali, thank you very much. We'll be back with Ali at the Vitality Stadium alongside Glenn Murray for commentary. We'll be building up to that game from 4 o'clock onwards. Let's go back to Chris Jones. All over for sale, Chris, but certainly plenty of interest still to come.
Yeah, exactly. The game hasn't quite finished. A serious injury to one of the La Rochelle forwards. We've got a stoppage with 3 and a bit minutes to go. Sale 12, La Rochelle 37. But we do know the last 16 from Pool 1. Bordeaux, Bulls, Lyon, Saracens from Pool 2. Toulouse, Harlequins, Bath and Racing 92 from Pool 3. Northampton, Exeter, Glasgow, Munster. And from this pool, Pool 4, Leinster, Stormers, La Rochelle and Leicester. So those are the 16 teams through. What we don't know is who plays who's away from home, who's at home. That will depend exactly on what happens in the Toulouse-Bath game and the Bayonne-Exeter game. That will then determine who is seeded where. So a few hours' time, we'll have the full draw for the round of 16. But we do know the 16 teams going through, with Sale going up the Champions Cup, meaning Tigers, and the double defending winners La Rochelle, who have won here handsomely. They'll go through from this pool 4.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. So Sheffield United 1, West Ham 1, but the Blades need wins down at the bottom of the table. Looks like Chris Wilder's going to chuck a striker on. Let's go back to your commentary team. Clinton Morrison's with Ian Dennis.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. It's like for like. Ollie McBurney's coming on, and he's going to replace Wulasula, who was involved in that Sheffield United equaliser just before half-time as West Ham United re-emerge. So the Sheffield United side then, Foderingham in goal, back four of Ahmed Hodzic, Trusty and Robinson, Vogel and Brooks the wing-backs, Harmer, Souza, McAtee, Brereton, Diaz and McBurney. West Ham United haven't made any alterations, so in their all-royal blue. Areola, back four of Sofal, Mavropanos, Zuma and Emerson, midfield of Ward-Prowse, Soucek and Fornals, Bowen, Cornet the goal scorer, and Danny Ings. Sheffield United, red and white striped shirts, black shorts, playing from left to right, attacking the Kop end in this second half as Michael Salisbury gets us underway. Clinton Morrison, what do you make of the change?
Yeah, I'm surprised. It might be an injury, because I thought Wulasula has done all right, and as you said, he was involved in the goal. He had the effort at the back post, so yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that. It might be that he has an injury, or maybe it's a different threat with Ollie McBurney up there.
And Ollie McBurney is looking for a little bit of club history here, because he scored in his previous 3 home games in the Premier League, albeit in the months of October, November and December. But he would look to try and equal 4 in 4 at home since the days of Keith Eddy back in 1975. So a chance to do it in the Premier League. Incidentally, he's lost all of those 3 Premier League games at home when he scored. So he is on, and Sheffield United making that change. The wind remains. We've now got wet conditions as persistent rain is falling during that half-time interval. 1-1 on 5 Live. Brooks plays it to Bogle, central area. The right wing back to Brooks. That was a nice turn. Took 2 players out to McBurney's feet. Souček gets it away for West Ham United, but McBurney helps win it back. Now Ings, midway through his own half, will get a throw for West Ham over on that far side. Clinton.
Yeah, they're just missing that cutting edge, I think, West Ham. Listen, they got Bowen. I think Cornet and Fornell's been quiet. Even though Cornet has scored a goal, I think in possession he's not been good enough. So I think them two have to have a big half, and even in midfield as well. Get Danny Ings into the game a bit more as well. Give him opportunities. That wind is just taking that ball. Don't know. It's literally a throw-in from the halfway line. It's gone right out of play.
Well, if you look at that corner flag on the far side now, in the corner between the John Street stand and the Kop, it has been taking a little bit of a buffeting. We've got a little bit more debris. We've even got a red balloon that has appeared in the left corner towards the West Ham supporters. That and the floating white plastic bag, as West Ham now will be playing into that wind as Fornells turns. Out it goes to Sofal, far side the right. Sends over the cross, goes up the body of Bogle, and then cleared away and out for a throw on that far side for West Ham United, as West Ham will look to launch this in. Another long one from that right hand side.
Yeah, but why is Souček not going in there? Yeah, if the wind's with you, surely you just launch it in there, and he is now. I didn't understand it.
Somebody who's so effective in the air. Trusty's keeping an eye on him. Souček is now on that near side of the 6-yard box. Wow. It is a long one from Sofal. It is flicked on by a stumbling Souček. Ward-Prowse plays the ball back. Zuma under pressure from Harmer. Every outfield player in the half away towards our left. Ings can't collect that ball that was played through to him, and it ricochets away off an outstretched left leg, and out it goes for a goal kick. That balloon still just bobbles around and lurks in the penalty area.
We don't want that Darren Bent.
I was just thinking to the Stadium of Light.
That was a different one though. What was it? It was a beach ball. That's it, beach ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would take such a hefty ricochet off that balloon, but it does need popping. If nothing else, it's a distraction to Foderingham. The Sheffield United are attacking, and it's with Trusty. Souza. Now with Bogle on this near side the right. We're into the 4th minute of the second half on BBC Radio 5 Live. And now it's with Robinson. Able to come forward into the West Ham United half. Plays it short and square, Trusty. Brereton Diaz plays it first time into the feet of McBurney. Now it's with Souza. West Ham drop off Sheffield United. Harmer 30 yards out from goal. Bogle, McAtee, lays it off to Bogle coming in. Good football from Sheffield United, keeping the ball well. Harmer to Bogle, enters the penalty area. Good footwork, just tackled at the last minute by Zuma. Ings midway through his own half, chips the ball forward, and from a standing start, Bowen was never going to get to that bouncing ball as it kicked on through to Foderingham. But plenty of urgency from the home team as they try and keep this momentum going.
Yeah, they've started the second half really well.
Souček gets it back from Ward-Prowse. Takes time to settle at the feet of Mavropanos, the Greek international. Scored his first goal in English football against his former club Arsenal recently. Cornet, who's opened up his West Ham United account to give them the lead, since cancelled out. Emerson gives the ball away, picked up by Brooks. Now McAtee, near side the right level of the penalty area. Left-footed, crosses the ball in, it was a teasing one. And McBurney just dangled a foot there, and it was picked up by Areola.
Yeah, it's a good ball. I think any little touch from McBurney, and then Areola's beaten because he's made his mind up.
Harmer wins it back. Wasn't expecting that. I was going to try and take a little sip of lubrication and then unexpectedly you stopped talking, and Harmer won the ball back, and Sheffield United will come forward, and he finds McAtee on the turn, can't get a sight of goal, rolls it to Brereton Diaz, first time shot blocked by the back of Sofal, out of play, goes for a corner.
Yeah, some good play from Harmer. He wins the ball back, and then it falls to McAtee, plays a good ball to Brereton Diaz, and you can see he's full of confidence. He tries to whip that into the far corner. West Ham defended ever so well.
6 minutes into the second half. Sheffield United 1, West Ham United 1, and it's a corner kick which is taken short, far side the left. Played back to Harmer, in it comes now, and the header from Trusty is off target, brushed the top of his head, and out of play it goes for a goal kick. Finally full time in the rugby, Chris Jones.
Yeah, we finally got there. Sale 24, La Rochelle 37. Decent rally from Sale in the second half with 4 tries, but La Rochelle too clinical, too powerful and comfortable winners. So it's La Rochelle who go through from Pool 4 along with the Leicester Tigers, the defending champions, truly alive and kicking after losing twice in this pool stage. But Sale are out the Champions Cup, they drop into the Challenge Cup. Full time in Salford, Sale 24, La Rochelle 37.
Thank you, Chris. Manchester City's women have come from behind. They now lead Liverpool by 2-1. It remains Brighton 1, Bristol City 0. Should say at 6:30 tonight on Sports Extra we'll have commentary of West Ham United women against Spurs in the Women's Super League. But before that, England-Australia, which will be starting at 4 o'clock in the netball. You'll be able to hear that on Sports Extra. And then after the netball and the Women's Super League, Detroit Lions against Tampa Bay, the American football at 9 o'clock, if that tickles your fancy. 8 minutes into the second half, here we are on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. It's 1-1 at Bramall Lane for a West Ham United side that were 6 points behind Tottenham in the top reaches of the Premier League against bottom of the table Sheffield United, 3 points behind Burnley, 5 adrift of Luton, and 8 points away from safety as Everton are outside the relegation zone. As Robinson steps forward out of defence, plays the ball short and to his left as he goes over the halfway line. Brereton Diaz now squares it into the centre circle for Sousa, and along the ground on this near side the right finds McAtee. Bogle will trot ahead of him on the overlap, plays it short and inside for Harmer. His route to Brereton Diaz cut out by the right leg of Ward-Prowse. West Ham now with Fornals, a very young-looking bench as well, an inexperienced bench for West Ham.
Apart from probably Cresswell, Ogbonna and Ben Johnson, even though he's a youngster, they're the 3 most experienced they've got on the bench, and they're all defenders.
Yes.
Not really much attacking players on the bench they can call on.
Limited and shorn of numbers is David Moyes, as he sees his side something like 16 points better off than the same stage last season, pushing for Europe but being held here by bottom of the table Sheffield United. Ahmed Hodzic hit the ball long for the run of Brereton Diaz. Socek in the midfield, Sousa wins that ball, Robinson plays it out, that Trusty playing the left of the 3 for Sheffield United. Sousa shielding them, cries out for a lack of options as he got the ball. They patiently play it to the right. Bogle in field, McAtee lets it run 3. There was a dummy there from McAtee. McBurney returns the ball to him, takes it on with Cornet on this near side. Cornet stands up to the challenge and gets their left foot into the challenge, and it goes out for a Sheffield United throw 10 minutes into the second half. 1-1.
Yeah, Sheffield United are dominating, and it's surprising really. Listen, I know West Ham, it suits them playing counter-attacking football, but they've been good so far in the second half, Sheffield United, trying to keep the ball and trying to probe. West Ham have defended decent in the second half so far.
Can they find the opening? Goals have been in short supply. McBurney, unfortunate that Brooks stumbled, but he did well to react and got back to his feet ever so quickly. Harmer to McBurney, lays it off. Awkward to control for Brooks, but again does well under pressure. Harmer behind him, chips it out towards McAtee. Brought under control very well. Cross takes a deflection and actually takes the deflection. Oh, it was handball off Cornet, and it will be a free kick. The deflection took it right down the throat of Areola, but Michael Salisbury spotted it, said handball by Cornet. David Moyes is into the ear once more.
Oh my gosh, it's hit the back of his back. That's why he's got it wrong. When you've just watched the replay, it's hit the back of the back. And the referee's made a big blunder, to be fair. And look where he's taking it from. It wasn't even there. It's about 5 or 10 yards further this way. So it's bad refereeing. Terrible. That's where I do believe VAR should get involved, because I think he's made a big... Well, if something comes of it, but they're not allowed to. It's a big mistake from him.
But you see, they say that VAR, they do re-referee games, but then that would be a case of re-refereeing the game.
Definitely, you're right.
So, will Sheffield United profit? And will it only add to and irk David Moyes even more? It would be a controversial goal if Sheffield United were to do something from the free kick that Harmer takes now. McBurney waits, header in towards the near post, back towards McBurney, and he hits the roof of the net. The angle was extremely tight and very acute. Right-footed, hits the roof of the net, out for a goal kick, 1-1.
I'm so surprised that the ref, as soon as the ball came in, didn't give a free kick, because that's what they usually do when they've made a mistake. But you're right, it was a good opportunity for McBurney, and I think he should just try and fire that back into the danger instead of scoring from that. It would have been some goal to beat Areola from that position.
He just flicks it with the laces of his debut, did Ollie McBurney. 3 goals that he scored this season for what has been a mixed season, given his lack of discipline. Been sent off twice, but 12 minutes into the second half, at a blustery Bramall Lane, it remains 1-1. Zuma with a volleyed clearance, Brereton Diaz. That was a ball that gave Trusty an opportunity to play it back to his goalkeeper, Foderingham. Ings is going to press from the front for West Ham. And then Bogle complains about the ball he's received from Ahmed Hodzic, and as he turned, it went straight out of play for a throw. McAtee glides across the surface, looks for the run of Brereton Diaz. It's a well-timed run. Brereton Diaz into the penalty area, pulls it wide.
Gosh.
Never looked with any real conviction that was going to go goalwards. Right-footed, it was always arcing its way away from the base of the left-hand post. It was a real chance. It wasn't taken. 1-1 it remains.
Yeah, it's poor defending from Sufa. Just don't want to get into a run. Great ball from McAtee. He's trying to play offside. No chance from Sufa. Stay with your runner. But once he gets into it, then you're spot on. It didn't look like a natural goal scorer. It looks like he's rushing it, and he scuffed it really with the instep. He has to be working Areola in that position. But poor defending from Sufa. Has to match the run.
As a former striker, are you surprised he went with the right foot?
No, he has to go because I think he's better on his right foot. But what I'm saying is, he could have even took the ball in a bit more. I think everything he did, he rushed it, and he was panicking when he was doing it. Because the run's brilliant, Deno. But once you get into that position, that's why I've always been told by the best, stay ice cold, and that's what you got to do. And he's still going at 100 miles an hour in that opportunity.
The reason I asked that is that we were right behind it, and as soon as he's left his right boot, it was always going away from
you were right. He's always curling away. I think maybe if he side foots it, could have beat him at his near post, but I didn't think he was confident to go with his left foot.
It was a lovely through ball from McAtee, though.
Great pass. So
they've had opportunities, Sheffield United, in this second half now with Brereton Diaz and McBurney, and it remains 1-1. We've got commentary to come from Bournemouth against Liverpool. That's at 4:30. Glenn Murray joining Alistair Bruce Ball in the commentary box. Bristol City's women have equalised at Brighton and Hove Albion. That's now 1-1 in that bottom of the table encounter, as Brooks for Sheffield United loses the ball in the midfield to Ings on the halfway line. Ings forward, short diagonal ball. Cornet still going, might come out towards Fornals. He actually had Cornet sitting down in front of him that blocked a route to goal. But West Ham still attack, Emerson and Fornals, and the referee will give the free kick in favour of Sheffield United. They couldn't keep the ball in play. That equaliser, Brighton and Hove Albion have responded immediately, and within a couple of minutes are now back in front. Brighton and Hove Albion's women lead Bristol City by 2-1. From 4 o'clock, we'll keep you up to date with Celtic against Bucky Thistle in the Scottish Cup 4th round. And then Match the Day 2 tonight, BBC 1 at 10:30 with Mark Chapman. McAtee running forward, Ward-Prowse goes with him. McAtee slows it down. Emerson now and Ward-Prowse double up on McAtee. He waits, plays the ball inside towards Bogle. Bogle goes square. Brooks tries to place it close down, takes a lot of pace off the ball. Comfortable save for Areola. hits it early and downfield towards Cornet. Flag goes up on the far side.
It's miles off. I don't know what Cornet is. Surely you got to look across the line if you can see you're offside. But it's Sheffield United that are doing the running. McBurney shows Zuma great strength on the touchline, and McAtee, he looks like he's the X factor, causing problems. But Brooks goes for the side foot, really edge of the box, should be drilling that, but good block.
Well, it's the second successive season on loan from Manchester City at Sheffield United for James McAtee. He scored 9 goals in their promotion season last campaign, but he does look like the key figure. If there's somebody who's going to unlock this West Ham United defence, McAtee certainly has the ingredients, the quality to do that.
Yeah, definitely. He's the one who played a good ball to Brereton Diaz, where he should have probably at least hit the target, but he dragged it wide. And he's creating stuff, so you're right. He has got that little bit of X factor.
61 minutes played. BBC Radio 5 Live here at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, West Ham United 1. Both the goals coming in the first half. West Ham taking the lead through Cornet. His first goal for the club just before the half hour. Brereton Diaz on his Premier League debut, his home debut, with the equaliser 60 seconds before half time. David Moyes, I think, looks like he's going to be making a change. There is activity down below for West Ham United.
Yeah, I think Ben Johnson's coming on. Be interesting to see where he goes. Does he sacrifice 4-0 or Cornet? Difficult one, really and truly. Because Johnson's a right back, so I don't know where you're going to play him.
Here is Ings, Souček, Ward-Prowse along the ground, out towards Sofal. Back inside now to Jared Bowen. But West Ham playing in front of Sheffield United at this stage. Now it's with Ward-Prowse, who plays it back out towards that right touchline. West Ham are in all royal blue. Here is Souček to Bowen, closed down very quickly by Trusty. It'll be a West Ham throw, despite Brereton Diaz picking up the ball and thinking it was actually a Sheffield United throw. West Ham in no real hurry to take it far side. Eventually it goes long to Bowen, cleared away, out for a throw. West Ham haven't really trouble foddering him in this second half.
They've missed the cutting edge, haven't they? A creative spark. You look at the likes of Paquetá and Mohamed Kudus, they're the ones who create the chances for Jared Bowen. He ain't had no service this afternoon so far.
We'll try and bring you as much live reaction as we can from Bramall Lane as the throw comes in from the right. Actually rides up the chest of Fornell. Shot was blocked. Harmer now runs away on the edge of his own penalty area. He's got McAtee ahead of him. Vogle's going to go through the middle if McAtee can find him. McAtee's held up a little bit. Snapping at the heels was Emerson. And Ward-Prowse plays it forward. And Ings now turns for West Ham. Diagonal ball. Bowen outside the penalty area. Enters the box onto his left foot. Shot blocked. Sousa there will bring it clear for Sheffield United. 64 minutes played. Sheffield United 1, West Ham United 1, and both sides not prepared to settle for the 3 points. Certainly the need for Sheffield United to get off to a winning start in the Premier League campaign for their first fixture in 2024 is so apparent. 1 win in 9, 5 points out of 27 that they've collected. They need to go on some sort of a run to try and put some sort of pressure on the teams above them. Johnson was stripped for action, but it looks like there's a little bit of hesitation on that bench there from David Moyes, who's in conversation with his coaching staff. Ahmed Hodzic brings it out of defence, spreads it out towards the left. Ball back towards Brereton Diaz. Falls over the ball as he enters the penalty area. Is there a foul? Brooks is still going, and then the referee does indeed think there was a foul on Souček by Brereton Diaz, so he gives the free kick to the away side. Still 1-1, 65 minutes played.
Yeah, you can see West Ham has just struggled a lot this afternoon. In the first half, they probably created more chances. It's all been in fits, but they've made a change. Bowen's gone on to the right, and Cornet's gone through the middle, and Fornell's to the left-hand side. But you just look at Fornell's a couple of years ago, he's the shadow of the player that you used to see him was, but obviously hasn't had the game opportunity. But I used to think he was a really good player, and he's been really quite so far. But as you say, there's still time for someone to be a match winner.
And West Ham as well by finally conceding, because they had kept 4 successive clean sheets in a 4-match unbeaten run in the Premier League, unable to equal that club record. But the last time they did it in the top flight was in November, December of 1985, when John Lyall saw West Ham United finish 3rd in the table that particular year, as Chris Wilder, on ball boy to duties, scoops the ball up with his right leg to McAtee, not once but twice, and now tucks it underneath his right arm, as there's going to be a change, and Cameron Archer is going to be coming on for Brereton Diaz. So maybe this was one of those planned changes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, is he ready to go and give 90 minutes? But as I said, I was surprised Cameron Archer wasn't starting, because I think he's a finisher, by the way.
Well, as we said, he only started twice for his time in Villarreal. So maybe 66 minutes in was always one of those tactical changes that Chris Wilder was prepared to make. And so Brereton Diaz, who scored on his Premier League debut with the equaliser, makes way for Cameron Archer, a fresh pair of legs as we approach the midway point in this second half. And Manchester City now lead Liverpool's women by 3-1 as the latest score in the WSL. So midway through the second half, 5 Live and BBC Sounds, 1-1 here at Bramall Lane. McBurney and Archer have been introduced off the bench for Sheffield United, as Ahmed Hodzic tries to play it out towards the left-hand side. Tracking back was Bowen, who now can run forward for West Ham. And he's challenged by Harmer, who was booked incidentally in the first half.
Has to be careful.
Has to be very careful. But the referee just lets play continue. Johnson still waits to come on, but now he's stripped for action, getting his final instructions from Kevin Nolan. 1 apiece. Bogle forced back. Ahmed Hodzic clears it up towards McBurney. Good little duel between he and Zuma. So foul, covering, central area, the right back, plays it to Emerson. Left back finds Ings, turns, forward ball. Emerson latches onto that. Brooks gets a challenge. He went for the ball, and he just caught the man. Going to get shown a yellow card. It's a genuine attempt to play the ball, but Brooks is booked.
I think he's late. It's good run from Emerson. You haven't probably seen Emerson do as much as that this afternoon, and he's done it a lot this season. I think he's been brilliant for West Ham going forward, but yeah, I think it's a tackle Brooks has to make.
So a quarter of the game remains at Bramall Lane. 1-1. Voices you can hear are that from the capital, from the West Ham fans who filled their entire lower tier of that 2-tiered Bramall Lane stand away towards our left. Johnson still getting those lengthy instructions from first Kevin Nolan, then Billy McKinley. And it comes, and the header from Mavropanos is off target. Well off target, goal kick, 1 apiece.
Yeah, it's a good ball in. Mavropanos gets up early, but he doesn't direct it. But yeah, really good ball. I could see this being Cornet coming off.
And it is Cornet who's coming off.
I've seen David Moyes being frustrated with him on the touchline.
So Emerson, will they switch formation, or will they just change the personnel as Cornet comes off? Yeah. You'd think that Johnson will play fullback. Would Emerson then go ahead of him? Or no, Emerson's going to stay at left back.
Yeah, I don't know what he's put. I don't know where Johnson's going to be fair. Danny Ings is going to go up front because he's playing in the 10. Johnson's going to go in as a midfield 3. But I don't think the West Ham fans were happy about it. A few of them, were throwing their hands in the air because I think they think it's more of a defensive substitution.
Well, the way that they're lining up now off the ball, it looks like it's a 4-1-4-1 for West Ham. Whether that was just for that particular instance, but Johnson has certainly gone into midfield as Trusty carries the ball forward, and now Archer. His ball might go astray. Bogle forced into the sliding challenge, does well actually under pressure. Harmer picks it up. McAtee thought about the shot and then placed it well off target for his second attempt. Left-footed, goal kick, 1-1.
Yeah, and that's 4-0. You've got to win your tackle. And Ben Johnson, you've just come on, win a tackle. That's what David Moyes has brought you on to do. Be stronger in that midfield, but good. Sheffield United have wanted it more than West Ham so far, but good opportunity for McAtee, but you're right, blazed it high and wide.
He's extremely versatile though, Ben Johnson. He can play either right back, left back. I've seen him play in the central defence before. The nephew of Paul Parker, the cousin of Ledley King. So certainly comes from
family,
good footballing stock, doesn't
Definitely.
he? Under 20 minutes remain, one apiece. Is there to be a winner in this game at Bramall Lane? If we don't bring you the live reaction before our next commentary at 4:30, Bournemouth against Liverpool, it will be available on the 5 Live Football Daily Pod. And after Bournemouth-Liverpool, we've got Tuesday night and Wednesday night to look forward to Chelsea-Middlesbrough and Fulham-Liverpool respectively in the second legs of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Stamford Bridge and Craven Cottage the destination for Tuesday and Wednesday night on 5 Live Sport. Here we are though in South Yorkshire, free kick to Sheffield United, McAtee to take it, left-footed, flat ball in, flicked on the head by Trusty, it's a looping ball, Zuma heads it away inside his 6-yard box, and then Johnson, does he keep the ball in play as he tumbles into the advertising hoardings, goes out for a Sheffield United throw. They had a period in the second half where they were on top. There's just been a bit of a lull.
Yeah, there has been a lull. I think there's been a lull in the game, full stop. I think second half it's lacked a lot of quality in the second half.
Here is Archer, midway through the West Ham half. Ahmed Hodzic, his header. Reaches McAtee with his back to goal. Left side of the penalty area, flicks it forward. Sousa with the cutback, the cross, cleared by Fornells. McAtee tries to get there, loses out to Bowen. So Fowl hits it away downfield, and then that is hammered back by Bogle. It's a bouncing ball, but Soucek strikes the back of the head of Ward-Prowse, falls kindly for Johnson in the midfield for West Ham, and those royal blue shirts come forward with Emerson. Now to Johnson, has a little glance over his shoulder. Ward-Prowse finds Fornells. Ings tries to roll away from his man. Ings shapes to shoot, does shoot, and Foderingham makes the save low to his left, 1-1.
Yeah, you would see that with Danny Ings there. You can see Soufal, but if it's a striker, that great little turn from Danny Ings, and you're thinking, can he hit the target? He does, but good save from Foderingham. But he could have played Soufal in, but I can get where you haven't been scoring goals and playing much. Good opportunity.
Remains one apiece. Let's get the team news from Bournemouth. Alistair Bruce-Ball.
2 right-backs here making first Premier League starts for their clubs. James Hill for Bournemouth, Conor Bradley for Liverpool. Max Aarons and Chris Mepham also come into the Bournemouth defence with Adam Smith and Marcos Senesi out. And Liverpool start with a front three of Jota, Nunez and Diaz. Ryan Gravenberch drops out, which should see Harvey Elliott in the midfield three.
Thank you, Ali. Glenn Murray on commentary duties for that game at 4:30. Saw Conor Bradley play against Fulham in the League Cup. Thought he did very, very well that particular night. The Northern Ireland international. As here is Archer, shooting opportunity, shot blocked by Zuma. 1-1 it remains. How long have we got? We've got about 16 minutes remaining of normal time.
Will we get a winner, Deno? Will we get one?
What do you think?
Yes, I'm going to go yes.
Okay. Chris Wilder.
It's not a confident yes, but it's a yes.
Ball played by Bogle goes astray, but then he wins it back to redeem himself. Now finds Brooks. Is anybody able to find that clinical edge in front of goal as they lock together at one apiece? This now is with Ahmed Hodzic, tall, lean Bosnian international. Emerson stumbled, cross headed away by Mavropanos for West Ham United. Johnson in the midfield for Soucek. Ings was caught by Ahmed Hodzic, and the referee tried to actually let the game flow.
We'll book him for
but
that.
I think he might book him for the challenge and behind of Ings. He felt the impact on the back of those calves. And there is indeed the yellow card. And that is the third yellow card for the Sheffield United team this afternoon with a quarter of an hour remaining. Think of the games coming up. Well, aside from Brighton in the FA Cup, but they've got Crystal Palace away, Villa at home, and you think the home form has got to be some sort of comfort if they are to produce an incredible escape in the second half of this Premier League campaign, given the fact that West Brom are the team who've had the fewest points at this stage to survive, and that was with 11 in the 04-05 campaign, 2 more than Sheffield United have got, so the odds stacked against them. And indeed, with all of the the new boys, if you like, in the bottom three, Sheffield United, Burnley and Luton. Only once have all three promoted teams gone straight back down the next season to suffer immediate relegation. That was 1998, Bolton, Barnsley and Crystal Palace, but it could well happen again this time around. Luton might have other ideas. They've certainly found their feet under Rob Edwards and are trying to make a fist of it. They're only a point behind Everton. Obviously Everton have been seriously hampered with that 10-point deduction that they have appealed, so that could yet be reduced. We wait to see if there'll be further sanctions to them and Nottingham Forest as well, so it's still a great deal of uncertainty down at the bottom of the Premier League table, as with 1-1, 14 minutes remain here at Bramall Lane. Ahmed Hodzic to Robinson, forward ball, goes to one knee on the stretch, did Sousa to Trusty, left of the back three, Archer comes deep, taking their time and then almost coming to a standstill with Sousa, and then the force back as Ings will run towards Foderingham. He hits the ball away downfield. A few dissenting voices inside Bramall Lane. They want to see their side on the front foot. There was a time at the start of the second half that they were on the front foot, as Sousa tries to get Bogle into the game, and the right wing back plays it towards McAtee with a layup, just sold a little bit short. Fornells couldn't get there. They can't keep the ball.
Both teams can't keep the ball.
Lacking in quality.
I said exactly what I said 5 minutes ago. Games lacking hugely in quality. Both teams can't keep the ball. Simple passes going astray.
Those odds might have lengthened of your prediction of a winner.
Yeah, I know. I'm still going to stick with it.
13 minutes remain. One apiece. Emerson forward. Fornells off the left touchline. Johnson goes ahead of him. Keeps the ball at his feet. Back to Fornells, diagonal ball, Ings looking for the turn, left corner of the area, wriggles free, penalty. Yeah. Surely, referee has a look and awards it. Ings had his legs taken away from him, and Michael Salisbury was in the perfect view. And West Ham United, with 12 minutes remaining, have the chance now to retake the lead.
It's a great turn from Ings. I saw it straight away. I think it's Harmer that catches him. The turn's brilliantly. Turns brilliant. He turns him ever so well, and I think Harmer tries to get back and help his defence, and he definitely catches Dan Ings. I called it straight away. Great little turn. Yeah, he catches him. Yeah, Harmer tries to get the ball, and Ings uses his body and gets his foot there. It's a stonewall penalty for me. Yeah, I don't think that would be overturned. But you never know.
James Ward-Prowse bounces the ball. He is somebody who you would undoubtedly trust from this situation, James Ward-Prowse.
Will it be him, or is it usually Jared Bowen? James Ward-Prowse would take it from me, but sometimes they always have a player there standing over the ball and then someone else comes and takes it. But you're right, it does look like it might be Ward-Prowse.
Well, Bowen has scored 2 out of his 3 penalties this season for West Ham, but it wasn't even a conversation. James Ward-Prowse picked it up, had it tucked underneath his arm, bounced the ball, now places the ball down on the spot. James Ward-Prowse waits, runs up now, right-footed, and scores. Mr. Reliable James Ward-Prowse. West Ham United are back in front. Their push for Europe continues. They lead Sheffield United by 2-1.
Yeah, it's a great penalty, and you're right, there's probably one man on this pitch who you would say would not miss that penalty. James Ward-Prowse. He's got great technique, great power in his strike, and brilliant penalty. But credit Danny Ings, man. He's found it really hard to get into this West Ham team, and he makes that goal. Brilliant piece of skill and clever industry to get that penalty, but great finish from James Ward-Prowse.
Sheffield United are going to respond. They're going to make a double change. We're going to have Ryan Brewster, who is going to be coming on. I think also we might well see Reece Norrington-Davies coming on as well. Yes, we will indeed see the Welsh international, and it's Trusty who's going to go off for Reece Norrington-Davies, who's only just recently returned from an awful layoff. 14 months he's had out of the game. Made a couple of appearances since.
And Brooks, I think. They've both gone off that end over there. Brooks is going off.
And Brooks has gone the other side as well. So Brewster comes on for Brooks. And Sheffield United will maybe rue the opportunities that they didn't take early in the second half. I mean, the Premier League, it is a ruthless league. You've got to take your chances. For
Yeah, and the young boy gets a standing ovation because they know I think he's been good for them. Young Brooks, been brilliant this afternoon.
Well, he gets a nice ovation as he makes his way back to the bench. Bogle sends over a cross, headed away by Souček, cleared by Danny Ings. He's put a shift in for the team, to credit Danny Ings today, hasn't he?
No, he has. He's put in a brilliant shift, putting him in the midfield as a 10, as a now going up as a centre forward. I think Danny Ings has been really good this afternoon, especially in the second half.
Well, West Ham looking for a 6th away win in the Premier League. Only Manchester City have won more this season. The champions have had 7 victories on their travels. The wind picking up inside Bramall Lane. We've got 9 minutes remaining, and West Ham United are leading by 2-1. West Ham, who have also scored in 10 of their 11 away games. The only failure was at Fulham, and that was a big failure when they were hit for 5 that particular game. But here they are. Harmer plays it forward. Emerson clears it away, that bouncing ball. Johnson toward Prowse, brings it under control. Souček was caught late by McAtee. Referee spotted it, gives a free kick to the away side. And David Moyes now getting some instructions across to the versatile Ben Johnson.
And you know what? He's actually been good in there, Deno, since he's come on. I know he missed his first tackle, but he's kept the ball. He's the one midfielder that's looked to drive forward. So, yeah, he is versatile, and he does it really well.
So West Ham will move to 37 points. They'll be 5 clear of Manchester United after 21 games for both sides. They'll be 3 behind Tottenham. This is a side that has still got European football to look forward to. If they top their Europa League group, yes, there was disappointment in the domestic cup competitions, but it's still a second half of the season that offers so much for West Ham, and the travelling support are in full voice away towards our left-hand side. 7 minutes remain of normal time. And Sheffield United behind. Ahmed Hodzic. Force wide. Brewster's just playing off McBurney. McAtee to the right, Archer to the left. Harmer alongside Sousa. So they're now playing with a back 4, aren't they, Sheffield United?
Yeah.
Here is Bogle, who's playing as the right back. Ahmed Hodzic and Robinson are the 2 central defenders. Norrington Davis is the left back. It's his header that only succeeds in keeping the ball in play. Archer is there. Sousa. Ball played forward, and now with Sousa. Still, Chris Wilder wants them to go forward. Harmer in that deep lying role finds Sousa. Loses it in the midfield. Fornells inside toward Prowse. Emerson goes on ahead of Fornells. The ball goes inside towards Johnson. Johnson, I thought, was going to shoot, taken over instead by Ings. He finds Bowen inside the penalty area. Bowen tried to place it left-footed, just wide. Goal kick, 2-1 West Ham.
Yeah, it's good. I think Johnson's done well. He was going to shoot, and Ings said, no, you're not shooting there. I'm going to give it to Jared Bowen, our top goal scorer, but he can't find a bend on that right-hand side once he comes inside. He'll be disappointed with that finish.
Not been Jared Bowen's day. Has been involved in 9 goals in 9 Premier League away games so far, though, this season. Only Erling Haaland has had a hand in more in the Premier League. As David Moyes turns away in frustration as his side lose the ball in the midfield. It only has another 5 minutes or so of normal time to see this game out. 3 more points for West Ham United as they look to consolidate 6th position in the top flight. Ahmed Hodzic.
Put the ball forward.
There was a reluctance there from the Bosnian. You might have sensed the groans of the crowd as it's flicked on. McAtee tries to roll away from Emerson, but he gets the foot into the challenge. Johnson just shrugs off Bogle, who succeeds in keeping the ball in play, but only allows Johnson to tickle the ball back to Emerson, and now he finds Ings, and he hold-up play by Ings has done well, and Ward-Prowse is the one who spreads it out towards Bowen. So Elf's going to go on ahead of him on the right. Foderingham thought about coming off his goal line, and in the end had second thoughts and retreated as it peters out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a race, and Archer was beating Sufa all day long there. So yeah, but it was great touches from Ings' hold-up play, and that's what you need when you're winning a game. Centre forward to be clever and hold the ball up, and that's what Danny Ings has done, in particular in his second half.
Here is Harmer. Ahmed Hodzic.
You don't want to hit a long ball at Hodzic, does he? He keeps up. There you go. Get it up to McBurney.
Up towards McBurney. He's challenged from behind. The referee's played the advantage. In it goes to McAtee. His shot strikes the body of Zuma. That was an awkward fall. His legs just parted there for Zuma. McBurney dispossessed by a sliding Soucek. No wonder that Zuma has stayed down. That really did look a very awkward fall for Zuma. And Ings, quite rightly, is going to put the ball out of play. It looked like he was doing the splits as the...
Yeah, it didn't look good, and he went down straight away, so he knew straight away that it's probably done something to his groin, because he slips over, and then it also could be the way he landed with his knee as well.
Get you maximum points in Twister, but apart from that, he's probably twisted, or is it his lower leg at the minute? I was thinking of his groin area at the time.
Yeah, it could be his groin area, and I just think the way his knee landed as well.
But West Ham United, they had to come under a lot of pressure in the early stages of the second half. I'm thinking the Brereton Diaz chance, the McBurney chance. But as the game has wore on, Sheffield United haven't created those same opportunities.
No, they haven't. And I feel like I've watched a lot of games here at Sheffield United this season where they've dominated possession and they just lack that killer edge in front of goal, and you know, the creativity. And I think and there's so much pressure on the young shoulders of James McAtee.
Bristol City's women have equalised at Brighton, that's 2-2, and DR Congo have equalised against Morocco, 1-1 in the African Cup of Nations with just over 10 minutes remaining of that game. It's 2-1 to West Ham United. We've got 2.5 minutes remaining. Sousa's going to be coming off. Norwood is going to be coming on, the former Northern Ireland international, like for like in the midfield for Sheffield United in their attempt to try and salvage something from this game against West Ham, who are looking for a fourth straight win against Sheffield United and their first back-to-back league successes in South Yorkshire since 1963. Zuma looks like he's able to continue for West Ham, whose supporters still sing away. Happy as Larry are those hammers at the end towards our left. Some of the Sheffield United supporters are just drifting on this windy day towards the exits as their side trail by 2-1. Ward-Prowse with the winning penalty, it would seem, as Sofal is forward, far side. West Ham playing from right to left, down towards the corner flag, cuts it back, Bowen, back to goal, to Ings. Ings enters the penalty area, tries to return the ball, comes to Fornals, it's laid back. Johnson has a swing at that, and it was a real swinger. It was off his left foot.
It's like he's kicked a beach ball that high, that's got to be fair. It's a good opportunity, but I think he's got excited because he's done well since he's come on in that midfield area. He thought he could go with his weak left foot. Yeah, what is that, Rosette, would you say?
Yeah, it was a good job there was a roof on the stand, let's put it like that. But David Moyes will be delighted. We've talked before about the players who are missing.
Definitely, he'll be coming to Bramall Lane to get that result. He will be happy.
We're entering the last 60 seconds of stoppage time. I can tell you there will be a minimum of 6 to be added on. As McAtee with a cross, too close to the goalkeeper. Chris Wilder turns away, head bowed. He thought maybe that could have been an opening, but it was just patted down easily by Areola.
Yeah, he did well. He out-sprinted Zuma, and you're just thinking on his weaker right foot, can he get that delivery in? But it was comfortable for Areola.
So West Ham United, no action, of course, in the FA Cup after their exit to Bristol City, so they'll have a little bit of a breather before they resume at home to Bournemouth on the 1st of Feb, and then you've got away games at Manchester United and home to Arsenal. There's Fodringham with a clearance for Sheffield United. Zuma beats McBurn in the air. Fornells plays it forward. And now we will enter those 6 minutes once the fourth official raises the electronic board with a bright red digit showing 6. Oh, that was late. Brewster sliding into the back of Emerson. Souček reacts. McBurney, his role of peacemaker to shield his Sheffield United teammate, but the Sheffield United players are having to protect Brewster from a crude looking challenge on Emerson, as Michael Salisbury just takes time to assess the situation. Very, very late. Yellow card.
Yeah, I think it's the right thing. He was late. He's not going anywhere as well, so Brewster doesn't have to make the tackle. He lets them get out of it, but he ain't going nowhere.
And still, the West Ham players are not happy. You've got Sofal and Zuma having a word with the fourth official, but it was a very crude challenge from Brewster. VAR will naturally have a look. That would be Robert Jones at Stockley Park, who's on VAR duty, and indeed they are checking for potential serious foul play for that challenge from Brewster.
Oh, he's going to have a look.
And in fact, Robert Jones has instructed Michael Salisbury to have a look at the monitor.
I need to see it again then. I've not seen it on the replay, and where we are, we're high up, but I could see the reaction from the West Ham players. They're still talking to the fourth official. I don't know why. Referee's going over to see it on the monitor.
Well, we know normally what this means when the VAR has instructed
that's not good. We can't see a lot from there, can we? The replay, they're trying to show us from here.
So he's gone across to the John Street stand. The challenge at the minute that he's being shown, or the images have been shown, is that from the Kop end. The cameras from the Kop end.
Here we go. Here.
Now he's been shown.
Oh, he's not high, but he jumps. I think because he jumps in from a distance, he's going to send him off. But if it's not like he's caught him high, he's caught him on the ankle of it, but it's because he jumps. Yeah, he jumps. He's going to get a red card for that then, because he jumps. You're not allowed to do that. That's jumps. That's serious, dangerous foul play. So it's because it's hard, because Brewster does catch him on his ankle. It's because he jumps in. Like, he kind of trying to slide, but jumps in. Yeah, he's going to send him off.
Yeah, he's come away from the monitor on the far side. The yellow card is rescinded, and out comes the red card. And substitute Ryan Brewster has been sent off. And Sheffield United's day just goes from bad to worse. Brewster sent off for serious foul play. They're down to 10 in added on time.
Yeah, to be fair, you knew as soon as he goes to the monitor and VAR get involved that he was going to send him off. Yeah, he's high. He's not high, but it's kind of out of control then, so you can understand why he's been sent off for that. And there was no need for the tackle as well.
So Sheffield United are down to 10. And he will miss the FA Cup tie against Brighton, and then the league matches against Crystal Palace and Aston Villa as a result of what will be a 3-match ban. And there's going to be a change. Mubama is going to be coming on for Danny Ings next for West Ham. So this will just add extra time to the minimum of 6 that we already had here, as West Ham lead by 2-1. Commentary coming up from Bournemouth against Liverpool. That'll be followed by 606 08085 909 693. And don't forget the League Cup semi-final second legs on Tuesday and Wednesday, both live on 5 Live. And our FA Cup fourth round coverage starts on Friday as well. Tottenham against Manchester City, as Manchester City's women now lead Liverpool's women by 4-1 in the WSL. But 2-1 to West Ham. Winning penalty from Ward-Prowse. Fornals looking for Bowen through the middle. Bowen looks for some support, holds the ball up. Johnson tries to provide it. Fornals now takes over, runs towards the D. Ward-Prowse, man over is Sofal, plays it in. Here is Ings. Ings with a chance, shot blocked, back towards Ings, blocked again, and cleared away at the third attempt.
He's desperate for a goal. I think everyone's desperate for him to get a goal, but great opportunity for Danny Ings there. I don't think he gets the shot away clean enough in the first opportunity. If he does, he scores.
His last goal was against Ghent in April. So this would be 30 games without a goal for Danny Ings. Longest drought of his career, and still he's had a couple of efforts today that have both been blocked, but he's worked very, very hard for the team. West Ham now looking for a third. Ward-Prowse stumbles his way, and out it goes for a goal kick. And by my watch, we're into the last 60 seconds of added on time. There will then be the added on for the VAR and the further substitutions. Mubama coming on for Danny Ings. who puts his head underneath his jersey, his hands on his head, but he gets a standing ovation from the West Ham travelling support.
Because second half he's been outstanding. He's led the line brilliantly. I actually feel for him because I'm desperate for him to get that goal. He deserves it. You can see his head in his hands, but I think he's been brilliant for West Ham in that second half. Won that decisive penalty, could be the winning goal. So I hope David Moyes I know his players do, but I hope Moyes appreciates the shift he's put in this afternoon.
Well, certainly David Moyes has made away from talking in the ear of the fourth official to break away from that, and a handshake to Danny Ings. Incidentally, for dissent, Sofal was booked earlier on as the West Ham players had complained about the challenge that ultimately resulted in Brewster being sent off after VAR, as Bowen stands on the ball, allows Robinson to find McBurney. Souček prevents McBurney from coming forward. Norrington Davis towards Archer. The 10 men of Sheffield United trailing by 2-1. We're now into the added time of stoppage time as the 6 minutes of minimum time has elapsed. Johnson loses out in the midfield, tries to win it back against Archer. Archer and McAtee both battled for the ball. McAtee was caught by Sofal, who, remember, has been booked already. Now this could result in
he's sending him off now. Yeah, he is.
Sofal has shown a second yellow and then a red, and Sofal has been sent off in injury time.
Too busy to get involved and speak his mind and his opinion, and then makes a silly tackle. Needless sending off from Sofal. I'd be disappointed if I was his manager.
So Sofal will miss the West Ham game against Bournemouth on the 1st of February. Sofal shown a red card for a second bookable offence. Both teams down to 10 men. We're into 7 minutes of added on time. Sofal is taking his time in coming off the field of play, and Sheffield United have got to score to salvage something from this free kick. There can't be much time remaining at all. There is no acknowledgement from his manager whatsoever as he passes to his side. In it comes now from the free kick, headed out well by Souček, helped further clear by Bowen. Picked up by Harmer, flat ball, spreads it towards McAtee, edge of the area. McAtee, left-footed ball into the crowded area. Goalkeeper has lost it. Now they're saying a penalty. Yes, they are. Late drama at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United, in almost the 9th minute of added on time, have been awarded a penalty.
I have to see it again, but the way that everyone reacted, and Areola, because he's calm. I know why you're trying to come and help your defence, and he's obviously down at the moment until we see a replay. But West Ham fans are going to see VAR will get involved. We could be here all night, Deno.
McAtee played it in, and Areola with a punch of the right hand has caught McBurney.
Oh, but then, yeah.
Or is it Johnson with the challenge on McBurney?
No, it is, you're right, it's Areola, but because he comes and gets nothing, that's why it looks like he catches McBurney. But I think McBurney might put his arm into him, but as I said, it will stay with the on-field decision of a penalty.
David Moyes just turns away, and he's now in deep conversation with the fourth official. Areola has still stayed down and is getting treatment, but his first job when he gets back to his feet is to try and save a penalty from Norwood, who waits
because
to
I
take
think he misses
kick.
it, Areola, but then McBurney's arm catches him, and as soon as he feels the contact, he'll go down. If he doesn't, I think it's going ahead of McBurney, and it will be Norwood. I think Norwood, I've seen him score a penalty here before where he struck it right into the roof of the net.
He did have the ball, and you're right, he scored a penalty against Wolves earlier in the season, but McAtee has actually now got the ball in his hands, and he's spinning it like a basketball player as he waits on the penalty spot. Incidentally, Brighton 3, Bristol City 2 in the WSL.
Yeah, I can't see it. I can only see it being Norwood.
Are you happy that the penalty decision is correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think, listen, if he doesn't give it, then I don't think there's no qualms with it. But once you make that decision, because there's a little bit where, because he completely misses the ball, that's why he gives the decision. And there's a slight contact on McBurney.
Late drama inside Bramall Lane. You're listening to 5 Live. Still, David Moyes is complaining to the fourth official. They thought the points were secure. We had a minimum of 6 to be added on. We've now just seen the 10 minutes of stoppage time tick by.
Oh, maybe he does want it, McAtee. Maybe it was when he wasn't on the pitch when Norway they got it, because it was in injury time before, so maybe he does fancy it.
Areola is now on his feet. He's instructed to go to his goal line by the referee, Michael Salisbury. A tale of two penalties, a tale of two sending-offs in a dramatic conclusion to this game at Bramall Lane on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. McAtee with his legs apart, straddling the penalty spot, is in conversation with Souček as he waits.
He looks confident, don't he?
He does look confident. Areola, though, might not be able to continue. They brought on Johnson and they brought on Mubama, but they've got their final change to be made, and Areola is unable to continue, and it's going to be Lukas Fabianski who comes on now to replace Areola. So Fabianski with a chance to be the West Ham United hero.
What do you think, Deno? I don't know. It's a hard one. I think all this waiting around and Fabianski.
It has been a long wait, by the way.
It has been a long wait.
It must be 3 or 4 minutes this wait. So Areola, who's conceded the penalty, is unable to continue.
I knew it wouldn't be McAtee. It's going to be actually McBurney.
By my watch, by the way, 11 and a half minutes of stoppage time.
I knew it weren't going to be McAtee. It's McBurney that's going to take it. I knew it weren't going to be McAtee the way he was standing over it, but I thought it'd be Norwood.
A chance to equal a club record.
He goes this side.
For McBurney. But more importantly, a chance to salvage something for Sheffield United. McBurney readjusts the ball. Wasn't happy with the way it was placed. McBurney comes up now, and McBurney scores! He equals the club record, but McBurney salvages a point from the spot for Sheffield United. Dramatic circumstances, Sheffield United 2, West Ham United 2.
I bet those fans in front of us who left before, I bet they're running back in the stadium now. But yeah, it's a good penalty from McBurney. I thought he'd go the other side, but really confident penny right into that bottom corner.
He scored in each of his last 4 home appearances in the Premier League, albeit in 4 different months. The last time to do that for Sheffield United was Keith Eddy back in 1975. But it's a point for the bottom of the table side, and how long is left is anybody's guess, to be honest with you, because we had 6 minutes minimum. We're now in the 13th minute of added on time. It's 2-2.
I bet it could be another couple of minutes then. I think it took ages with the VAR.
Johnson, who's now playing at right back with the departed Sofal, both sides to 10 men, sends over a cross.
That
could be a penalty, as Bowen was wrestled to the ground. David Moyes is hopping with frustration. He's livid. He was on the penalty area. Well, if that had been given, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have been surprised at first glance.
Listen, if VAR got involved in the sending off, surely they'll have a look at this, because for me, I don't even know why the defender's got his arm around Jared Bowen. It can't be Jared Bowen backing in, or he's giving it for handball.
The cross came in from, or was Bowen, Hank? It was Ahmed Hodzic.
Nah, that's half of one. That's not going to be given that, Deno. I think both are doing it. I don't think it's a free kick, but I think both are doing it.
An object has been thrown from the West Ham support in the direction of Fotheringham, who then slips as he takes the goal kick, and there is the full-time whistle. And I'll tell you what, certainly a lot to digest there. Gary Flintoff will be making his way down to the tunnel, and I would love to hear the interview with David Moyes, because judging by the reaction of him on the final whistle, he was absolutely livid with the officials. However, certainly a lot to talk about for an action-packed second half in the end. Both sides finished with 10 men, 2-2.
Yeah, good second half, really good, enjoyable second half. I'm glad I was here to witness it. To be fair, West Ham would be gutted. I think Sufal doesn't need to get involved when the VAR dealing with it, gets a yellow card, then gives a needless free kick, goes down to 10 men. Areola at the end, does he really need to come? I think Ben Johnson could deal with McBurney, but listen, he's still got to go and take the penalty. I thought it was a really good game of football, and Sheffield United never gave up. West Ham will be disappointed though, because I feel like it's 2 points thrown away.
Well, Cornet gave them the lead after 28 minutes. Brereton Diaz equalised just before half-time. Ward-Prowse from the penalty spot put West Ham 2-1 up. Brewster sent off for Sheffield United just after that. Sopal for a second bookable offence was then dismissed for West Ham, and then McBurney with an injury time penalty made that it finished level here at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 2, West Ham United 2.
Oh, Ian, I just watched David Moyes there walk off the pitch. He is on the warpath, isn't he?
Well, particularly with his reaction when he thought that they could have had a penalty towards the end. He twisted and jumped onto the playing surface in frustration. So, he is. His mood will be interesting, and there'll be, I think, the odd scowl from David Moyes, because it looked like the points were secure. But it's a valuable point for Sheffield United.
Like you, Ian, I'm looking forward to hearing that interview, but I am simultaneously glad I don't have to do that interview. I'm sure that Gary Flintoff, though,
he's got his tin hat on. Gary
Flintoff, always, Clinton will do a fantastic job. Let's just run this then, Clinton. 3 penalty incidents, if you like. The Ings one, obvious penalty. The one at the end there, I agree with what you said. You could certainly argue that they're both at it, but it's the Sheffield United one. Because we've only been able to see one replay, really. Is there an argument? Let me ask you this: is there an argument that it's McBurney throwing his arm into Areola rather than the other way around?
We've not seen the replay here, so from where we are, it's quite high up, Crossy. But when you see it, I actually think Areola misses the ball, and maybe it's McBurney that throws his arm into Areola. So that's why I said I can understand, because they're level with the laptops down there, all the analysis and showing David Moyes of it, and that's why he was fuming, and that's why he thought it should be a penalty at the end. I don't think the Bowen one is that one. Yeah, I'm still.